I kept saying the interconnectedness of all things when I was in my interview.
Thank you. That's awesome. A little Dirk Gently homage there. And if
No
you
one,
run into any teachers that have actually read Douglas Adams, they'll mightily appreciate it.
no, exactly. They no one seemed to recognize it, but I still did it, and it made me sound smart. So then
Well,
they were like, "Let's
there,
get this one."
there's that whole Jungian philosophy and synchronicity too. I mean, it could make you
Yeah,
sound philosophical
yeah.
as
But really,
opposed to just well read.
I'm not even well read. I just watched the show because it's fun.
Have you
And I
guys
love
seen it, Dirk Gently?
I read the book.
There's two Dirk Gentlys. So one of them is the American version and has Elijah Wood in it, but the other one is the British version and it has Stephen Mangum as Dirk and
Yep.
is much more faithful to the book. And oh my gosh, it's
He's
so
so good.
freaking funny.
Fucking love it. Yeah, no, an owl got fucking smacked.
Owl rounds. Okay, so you go to the Chamber of Sacrifice. Aurelia uses her Hood of Stolen Breath to like knock out everybody, all the cultists in the room, while hanging out invisible and sort of waiting for them to pass out. Waiting for them. She doesn't kill any of them, but Krishana certainly does. she sort of just wanders around and caps a couple in the head as everybody's like, "Hey, whoa, 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 whoa! We're gonna leave them alive." It's like, but I thought we were gonna kill them. It's like,
Yeah,
when did we say we were going to kill them?
well, I'm saying I'm gonna note basically Mack being a bloodthirsty hound is generally inclined to we kill them because I don't want them to be behind us later on if we have to go back this way.
Yeah.
Mack isn't that bloodthirsty.
No, but I'm saying you have basically become full werewolf at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you whatever or not you're basically Mack the human might have not been bloodthirsty. You are definitely a bloodthirsty character at this point.
Oh yeah. Like, the princess was just the beginning.
Yes. Okay, so... Alright, there's the overwhelming stench of basically iron and blood as you head down the stairwell from the Chambers of Sacrifice going behind the statue of the Yellow King, down into a secret stairwell that leads you into wherever the blood was flowing, down from the sacrificial altar. You eventually, Al goes and rounds a corner, and this sort of being made of blood with 4 arms and a toothy maw and sort of serpentine body leaps out of the darkness at her. And did you actually take damage or no? I don't recall.
I did. I took 40 points of damage.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
But
it tears into her and like almost rips her face off. It definitely manages to mangle her helmet completely. Owl
had smacked it with her with the what's the thing?
The vampire
smacked it real good.
Yes. Alright, so you pull out the vampire blade, death slipped into her, and its blood basically it leaves this sort of like giant trough through the thing as the blade cuts straight through it like butter as it seems to absorb the blood into it.
Yeah.
At this point, Owl's eyes basically glow with basically a infernal light. All of you can see it, and the fact that her face is sort of like messed up and like blood is dripping from her jaw as if she recently chewed up somebody is just like is like
that's a good look. Mack is just like enthusiastically thumbs up, like, "Hey, nice. That's how you do it."
And Owl just starts cackling, just.
All right, Owl gives her own best Joker and or evil villain laugh. All right, so yes, there are critters basically just around the corner that are coming after you at this point. Initiatives, everybody.
Say something that will start a fight. Roll for initiative.
Exactly.
Anything that comes out of this mouth will start a fight.
Okay, that's a 16 for Dirk.
I don't believe
one for the blood fiends. All right, so I think you all go first.
I rolled a 5. The other rolls
That's okay.
a 5.
They rolled a 1. They rolled a 1. Literally, they rolled a 1.
How many blood fiends are there?
You don't know so far. You just saw one basically get driven off by Owl, but you hear some splotchy blood splattering sounds directly down the stairwell and to the right.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll just start with Aurelia. Go on down. Aurelia, what are you up to?
That is a great question. Let's see. Would it make more sense to hold on. Can I cast polymorph on one of these things?
Well, you can't see any of them at this point. They haven't even acted yet. They're all around the corner.
Or all
if you want to trudge down to the end of the corridor and take a look-see out there, you're more than welcome to do so.
All right.
And then you can cast basically a polymorph if you wish.
All right. I'm gonna trudge down to the end of the hall.
Okay, you head down the stairs. The bottom stairs are all slick with blood. Some of it from the creature, some of it from Owl. And you turn the corner. I need a wisdom save.
Okay.
That tracks.
All right. Everybody
is she
picks
right
up
next
an
to Owl?
inspiration for the beginning of the session, by the way. Do you wish to re-roll this, or are you keeping that roll?
Yeah, I'll re-roll it. Okay, that's a little better.
Okay, so you use up inspiration. You whip around the corner, look, and then you upon the faces of various these various creatures, you can see faces of people you know.
Yeah, he does.
Your mother, your brother,
Cool.
it's like the childhood friends, members of your own team, all like writhing in agony, bubbling blood, and as you're going, okay, that's gross. Okay, now what are you doing? You look around the corner and there are a lot of them. There may be about possibly 40 of them. In fact, there's sort of bubbling sea of blood in front of you, and these creatures emerging from it.
What range of area? What range are they?
So if you want
dense are
to, it's probably around the pool of blood is maybe around 60 foot across total. So you could catch maybe about, what is it? It's 20-foot radius, so it's like half of it to 2/3 of it in a fireball. Or if you had Circle of Death, I think you can catch the whole thing. Or any 30 or 40 foot radius thing could probably catch the whole room.
Why is
Okay,
it Circle of Death if the map is in squares?
Okay, I have reverse gravity.
Because Circle of Death sounds cooler than Square of Death. Let's put it that way.
It's true that the branding is important.
Why does that just feel like an office, but make it Hell and Death? I don't know why.
Office of Death.
Exactly. It's just like the
Office
office.
Or
but make
of
it
Death. It's like, you keep on saying everything's of death, because it is. Everybody's gonna die some way, somehow, in the future. Okay.
I have reverse gravity, and it covers. It's a
Okay, that covers a ridiculous area. So yes, you can all try to
area.
squish them all up into the ceiling if that's what you wish. Okay, so you cast reverse gravity. Okay, all the blood begins to flow up from the floor towards the ceiling in a giant squishy puddle that basically, along with all the creatures, flow all the way up to the ceiling and sort of hang out there.
That's a good way to get them out
What's
of our way.
the length of time for that spell?
That's a good question.
Duration, that's the word I was looking for.
Words are hard.
All right,
I'm
give me a second.
having-
Reverse
yeah.
gravity lasts 1 minute.
Okay.
I think we should go.
Okay, 50-foot radius. Okay, it tags the whole room. The ceiling is relatively high. It's like 60 feet up. So it's, so all the creatures sort of hop up and down up there, basically, and slither along the walls a little bit, but don't seem to be able to get at you at the moment.
Who votes to run?
All right, from here, the problem is essentially this also affects your own team. So unless you're gonna like grapple onto the floor, which is now the ceiling, I guess. The directly across from you, you can see like two large channels that sort of are at the same level across from you that probably would have been filled with blood earlier, but now is like all their contents is flowing up towards the ceiling like giant bloody waterfalls.
Oh, God.
Nice.
Blood.
Waterfalls. Stick to
As
the
a
river.
bonus action,
Used to.
Well, does anybody have anything that they can use to
Don't
like
go
pick them off while
to
they're
waterfalls
stuck up
blood.
there? Right? Any ranged
I
Yeah, they all
attacks?
seem to be stuck at the ceiling so far right now. You don't really know if they can climb the walls at this point, but they're sort of discombobulated at the moment, so you've got like probably at least 1 to 3 rounds before they can regroup.
So I can smack the fuck out of them with a sword.
Well, they're 60
Well,
feet up.
it
They're
would make
60
more
feet up,
sense.
and like the whole point of using the reverse gravity probably was just to get them all out of the way.
Sorry.
So,
Get the fuck
so you
off
don't
my
have to
lawn!
fight 40 of them essentially, which is okay. So which is a good idea, right? You don't want to have to basically use up as much. You want to save as many resources as you can before you get to Davenport and the Yellow King. So,
Is there any other way to go besides the way that's going to make us go up to the ceiling too?
We could cast
no,
maybe
because it's
Dimension
like
Door?
the reverse gravity is covering the whole floor at this point.
Okay.
It is just gravity, though. Like, if we could get away across somehow, I could maybe just.
So if you
claw down
if you
the
want to
ceiling.
use, if you fly or if you cast levitate and smear yourself up to the ceiling, or you could basically just like hammer pitons in and basically try to go from.
Fly.
Yeah, if one person can go over with the rope and we can attach the other end, then we can just like pull
Okay, so
ourselves through the
fine.
rope.
Who's flying?
I can
The
fly.
person
I
that
have
always
wings.
fly. Exactly.
Okay, so Aurelia, right. So I need a acrobatics check basically to get the orientation right as the gravity shifts from up to down or down to
nat
up.
20.
Right.
Let's
No problem.
go.
All right, Lady Emma leaps out into the void and immediately flips upside down corkscrews 3 times and starts flying inverted. All of you are like, that just hurts my brain looking at that.
Hey, you're getting good at that.
All right, so you have 2 obvious passageways to go through, and then there's there looks to be some giant grated drain at the bottom of this thing. That is still blood is still pouring out of it like a torrent, however, so it doesn't look like a very convenient way to go. So the 2 obvious ways to go are blood waterfalls currently, as blood is sort of draining out of those tunnels. So one to your right, one to your left.
Can I see anything in them?
The one to your right, you see sort of terminates in a sort of thick portcullis gate. So unless you blow your way through that, or perhaps Ronan cuts through it with the summer sword, it might halt you up, and you don't have a lot of time. And then the other way looks open.
All right, we'll take the open way.
Okay, you head over to the open way. The gravity reverses as you sort of unceremoniously bump your head into the ceiling. Get back into position, hammer a rope into the ceiling as you all basically quickly jet across. About that period of time, this takes about a minute essentially as you're keeping your concentration. Do you recast or you just let it drop? At this point, blood is going to rush down from the ceiling and fill this corridor back up. So
yeah, I'll recast.
Or you can just wall up the corridor. So
recast it and we'll wall up the wall it up.
So how are you walling up the corridor? So either your cleric, your bard, or your wizard can do this because all of you have creation capabilities. So all of you can cast some wall spell, or Dirk can literally create a wall by singing one into existence.
Yeah, Dirk Can you?
Yeah, Dirk. Yeah, so we're gonna make a wall so that when all of that comes crashing back down, it's on the other side.
Okay.
It's gonna be the
All right.
greatest wall
You
ever.
create this thick glass wall where, as you see, blood sort of fill up on the other side of it, and various blood creatures leer at you through the blood. As you can see, an eyeball like sploosh up against the glass every so often. As all of you are looking at Dirk, why did you make it out of glass? That's just very disturbing. I don't know. It seemed nice. It seemed creative at the time.
I don't want him to sneak up on us. I need to see what they're doing.
Yes, I need to see what they're doing. As these various like horrific faces like are smearing themselves against the. Speaking of horrific faces smearing up themselves against the glass, I need wisdom saves for everybody.
What have you done?
That's a 14. What's our DC on this?
Your DC is 13.
Oh, thank God.
So I don't
18
roll
plus
3 or
whatever
less.
bonus
I'm
I
using
did.
a lucky on that. I'm gonna
Okay.
use
God.
a lucky on that roll.
What is going on with my wisdom saves? I have a +8 and I'm just failing.
There we go. That's good. Cool.
Okay, Lady Emma, you take what is it? What is it? 15 maximum hit point damage as
Ooh.
as you see someone basically you hadn't seen in a long time, and they're just like in pain, and it's like
Lovely.
Well, live and learn.
So it goes.
it's like
Oh, that's any different than
Aurelia has a haunted look in her eyes as she's going, as she reaches and touches the glass, and the other thing on the other side goes and touches, try to touch back.
Dirk's gonna tell her in some sort of a nice song not to believe everything she sees around here because there's a lot of illusion, and he's gonna give her bardic inspiration.
Okay, fair enough. Roll a performance check, I guess, for me.
Okay.
Or persuasion. Either one, which is fine.
Okay, yeah, performance and persuasion are the same. That would be a 10, which is technically a pass.
This is one of those moments where you say exactly the wrong thing. And it was just
Oh, no, not again. Okay.
yeah, this is one of those, like,
I don't know what you're talking about, Lawrence.
you just need to swallow your emotions. Bad advice always to give to someone
Bottle it up.
who's
Don't
having a
talk about
crisis,
it.
mental crisis. Suck it up. Let's go, Buttercup. Let's go, Buttercup.
Walk it off! Walk it off!
That's Zumlar. That's definitely Zumlar.
Dirk is definitely having one of those days. It's like I almost had my face eaten off lately. It's just like, and she's Dirk is a little testy today. Okay, so you do got a bardic inspiration, Emma, for later use. Okay, so you head down the passageway. The everything from the floor and the walls still continue to drip blood because it was full of blood previously. All of you are sort of getting red stained shoes in the bottom, and wherever you put your hand,
I
basically,
just clean
and
these
some of you like
boots.
touch your face, and it's just like this one is, as you keep on reminding yourself, like, do not. As Owl's one of those people that probably just casually brushes the walls all the time. It's like,
I was gonna say she starts like jumping in it like a kid in puddles with their duck boots. She's just jumping in it.
Owl, don't do that. Zumlar, you'll hear Zumlar say.
all right, you could see like some of the structure of Owl's face basically begins to heal up as the blood sort of like reverse seeps back into her skin and her flesh knits back together. You heal 10 hit points.
Yeah.
And she's sort of dragging the sword along the ground, and rather than making any sort of scraping noise, basically all the blood in like a 5-foot radius of her like gets sucked into her sword.
So Dirk is going to walk behind the sword in a nice little dry path.
Yes. As Al is basically sort of taking the lead and just like cleaning up the corridor as she goes. Some of you, because it's just your team, are just going, wow, that's super handy. Some of you, basically, like Healer, who still has basically some sense of like what is probably normal, is going, that's super fucked up.
Yeah, Zumlar's like, what's going on there, Owl?
I'm leaving the sun. She just starts wiggling it.
She's like, "See, I got a powerful sword. I got a powerful weapon, just like you."
Oh
Just
God.
like you, Sir.
Okay, you arrive. Okay, so hold on a second. I need to look at my notes. Second. Free. Gmail. Google Docs. All right.
Alright, so I'm gonna cast protection from evil and good on myself.
That
Okay.
seems wise.
I'm going to do the same.
Do I have that spell? I have to look and see if I have that spell.
You can have it as a cleric if you want. You just need to have a first level prep spell slot open. So,
Can I cast protection from Owl?
protection from Owl.
Oh God.
When have you ever needed this? I think she's needed protection from you once, but that's
Well, she is like a vampire and has like 3 curses and a bloodthirsty sword. So
it's not as she's like
seems like an okay time to cast something to protect. So
Oh, bugger.
Dang. Acting like
Owl every Owl, like Aurelia gets a little too close to Owl every so often, and it's like and
It's the
Owl
love bite.
like, what is that you cast on yourself? It's like it's itchy.
Oh no!
He starts scratching. Just rude. I have too much clothing for this. Go away.
No.
Go away. She just starts
No.
running down the hall.
Come back here.
I think
All right.
Al has an energy of a toddler that ate like a whole bunch of Twinkies. Like they found the whole
God.
box of them,
Right.
and they're
But the
just
Twinkies were cursed.
yes, exactly. But that same sort of like manic energy. There's just
Exactly.
no reasoning to be done with them.
Okay, so so you're going from Chambers of Blood. Okay, the next. Okay, so you are in the palace grounds proper at this point. And you're underneath the Gardens of Madness, so you're not having to fight like all the plants at the moment. Okay, so there are heading this way. You eventually come to this sort of giant cistern that is full of blood. That's continually spins and swirls around a whirlpool that never seems to drain the pool. This sort of standing whirlpool is contained by like a 1 foot tall little fountain wall. It's perfectly circular. The room itself is roughly about 30 feet across. There's 5 feet of path going all the way around it. And at the far side of the room is a set of bronze gates that have been stained red by blood, depicting, scenes of sacrifice. So they're just like, there's all sorts of weird chthonic creatures that are grabbing living beings and tossing them into the maw of this giant multi-tentacled beast. And that is what is on the door. And then let's see here. And then around the edges, let's see here, of the room, written in sharp runes is, let's see here, it looks like a holy verse or a poem or a psalm of some sort that goes all the way around the room at least 3 or 4 times.
Can I cast
You're gonna say in crayon.
Okay, what were you gonna cast?
Dispel magic?
Let's see here. The whirlpool stops spinning and sort of settles down into this mirror smooth pool of red blood. The door. Actually, I need you to roll for the door. Actually,
Okay. What do you want me to roll?
you roll a d20 and try to roll high. Effectively, you need a 16 or above.
Okay. Oh, I got a 15.
Well,
Okay, so your magic. You see your wave of white magic like shoot out from your staff and like bounce off the walls, and like it definitely dispels something on the surface of of the pond of blood, but once it gets to the door, it's sort of rebuffed, and there's this white flash of light, and whatever's on that door remains.
Does Krishana recognize anything reading the ritual around the room?
Can you read all? You have the warlock ability to read all languages, right?
If I cast it as a ritual.
Okay, well, might as well at this point. All right, you're casting comprehend languages.
Sure, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, that might be
all
good
right.
to know.
Like Dirk, that will. At the same time, Dirk is going and looking at the door since you are the resident rogue. I need a investigation or perception check for you, DC 18.
Oh well, okay.
If you succeed on both, that is the best result. If you succeed on one, partial success, and if you succeed on neither, you don't find anything.
Shit.
You don't
Okay.
find the dangers that hide within that door.
I got a 19 on investigation, and then what was the other one?
Perception.
Perception, okay.
Hey, a door.
And I got a 27 on perception.
All right.
Yeah.
We may not roll well the rest of the night, so enjoy these guys.
Carefully hidden within the tentacles and folds of the monster is a rune that has been carefully crafted into the artwork of the door. Sort of looks like a skull with a lightning bolt going through it. So it's either a lightning spell or a lightning sigil or a death spell.
Or a skull from Halo.
Yeah. And then the other thing you notice is that the door, the room itself, you sort of look. There's a very fine seam at the entrance to this room that seals. So you're guessing there's like a stone door or something that seals it shut. And there's some sort of mechanical trap that is attached to the pool. It either is going to cut something loose or it's going to flood the room with blood. You cut that without basically investigating the pool, which is sort of awkward because it is a pool of blood. You're against basically like sticking your arms and limbs in it to find out. So
Yeah, I mean, I can send. Well, I can send my mage hand down, right?
you send your mage hand down, but it's not like your mage hand has like the ability to feel like your own hand does.
That's
So it's
true.
So if you were an arcane trickster, I'd give you that because arcane tricksters can like disarm traps with their mage hand. Or not.
They have more utility. It's true.
Yeah. Okay, so about 10 minutes later of Dirk searching around the room and reporting in, the Krishana finishes casting her comprehend languages. Inscribed upon the walls, the following poem is in place. Essentially, let me just paste it in and I'll read it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, well, it took out all the spacing, unfortunately. So
I hate when it does that. Formatting.
All right, let's try this again. Maybe this will be easier to read.
There we go.
Okay, inscribed upon the walls of Garkosia's halls, chthonic verse of dark and ominous thrall. Words of power etched in blood and bone, inscribed by hands long turned to dust and stone. The Yellow King, whose rule is absolute, commands the very fabric to transmute, bending space and time to his own whim, his power vast, his dark designs grim. The minions of the king in shadows hide, and those who dare cross the palace's tide are lost to madness, or worse to death, their souls consumed by the king's foul breath. The palace walls, a maze of twisted space, defy logic, reason, time, and place. A realm of nightmare and surreal sight, where nothing is as it seems to be in light. Inscribed upon these walls of dread and might, the Yellow King's will is etched in twisted light. A warning to those who would dare to tread in the palace of the King of Undead.
Well, okay.
You
Abandon
hear that,
hope,
guys?
all ye who enter here.
Yes.
You guys hear that? He has stinky breath. Watch out.
Would this be like destroying a painting where we could maybe carve away his will? Krishana's going to start trying to...
This is you can roll an investigation if you don't want to take a stab of understanding basically what it says as the player. You can always have your character. You can roll an investigation or insight check as your character derive meaning out of this thing.
My real life brain isn't good enough. What if my character's brain is good enough?
I'm gonna note Mack is not a philosophical person, so he
Oh
basically.
no, absolutely. That's like the other way around for me.
Well,
The last one
if
we
Krishana read it to us, Dirk will have a stab at investigation, and that's a 19.
19. All right, so the Yellow King commands the undead, and the some ability to transcend time and space. Let's see here, and the palace walls. The palace itself is cloaked in illusion. And probably spatial twisting magic.
Okay.
Hence
So Dirk thinks that we shouldn't really trust anything that we see here. We should roll lots of investigation checks to make sure, because there's a lot of illusion and a lot of attempt to lead us astray. And it seems like we may run into a lot of undead here, folks. So let's gear up for that.
Okay.
Can Lady Emma try to spell magic again, but with the Flammapasis? Pachis, whatever, however you pronounce it.
Flamma. Okay, so you put your regal staff forth and crack it on the ground, essentially, as there's another flash of white light zooms out from the staff in every direction. Okay, so roll a I don't know. I think that's going to be 3 charges, and then roll a d20.
I got a 16.
Okay, so you got the number exactly that you needed. So the silvery rune that was hidden in the door is now revealed. It's like Aurelia, now that she can see it clearly, it's obviously a death's head symbol for the symbol of death. So it would kill whoever basically tried to open this door. And that flashes, and at that point, and it flashes brightly for one moment, then is gone. So indicating your dispel magic worked. All right, whatever mechanical trap is attached to the door is still there, however. So Dirk can attempt to disarm it if they want. Otherwise, you could use other means, like trying to cut through the door with the summer sword, or teleporting to the other side. Though, again, all of you don't feel real comfortable about teleporting your Carcosa, since teleporting is how you got into Carcosa in the first place.
Yeah, and we just learned in the rune that it's a twisting of time and space. So I think that's a dire circumstance. So would that be you want to slide a hand roll on that, or stealth, or what do you want? Investigate?
Yes, sleight of hand roll.
Guidance.
I want more cowbell.
Okay.
I gotta have more
18.
All right. You start working some bricks and tiles out of the ground, and eventually, okay, well, there's a control wire here. I think cutting it is the right course of action as you pull out some wire snips and snip it. It's under a ton of tension as it gets. You hear this very loud bang as something snaps into place in the pool itself, and the door itself begins to slowly rack up as some sort of very slow gearing mechanism basically starts rolling it up into the ceiling. There's maybe about a foot of space underneath it. About the period of time, basically, tentacles of blood begin to shoot out everywhere out of the pool, as well as this giant globular eye made of red blood and translucent fluid basically bubbles up to the top like a giant bubble. Initiatives.
again.
I'm just trying to figure out who can fit under there. And that's a 14 for Dirk.
That's a 19 for Zumlar.
12.
That's a 10.
I think I'm doing terrible on initiative tonight. Everybody goes first again. So.
Aw.
All right, Dirk on up at this point. Unless, okay, everybody goes first. We'll go Dirk on up this time, so Dirk will have an opportunity to do stuff. Okay, Dirk.
Okay. So how far? You said the room's about 20 feet across.
The room is about 30 feet across, and 20 feet of that is made up of the pool of blood that is now looks like it's turned into some sort of tentacle monster that just recently got loosed.
So, guys, are we in any way trying to be stealthy while we're here?
They already know we're here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'd like to cast Shatter on as much of the bloody stuff as I can to see what that does.
There's a thunderous blast of thunder. There's a thunderous blast as thunder reverberates through the rooms, like everybody's going, wow, that's freaking loud, as everybody gets splattered with blood.
And that's con 17.
All right. Give me full damage. Okay, as the blood hits everybody, all of you take 10 points of necrotic damage. If you, of course, have resistance to necrotic, you take less.
Does owl
a Constitution saving throw?
There is no Constitution saving throw. You just take 10 because the whole room just got painted in like necrotic, like blood that has been charged with necrotic energy.
Yeah, the blood failed to save, so they took damage, but then it squirted on us, and we took damage. So sorry, guys.
I'm just saying the whole room is like sprayed with blood at this point. Once the shatter went off.
But we don't see tentacles or an eye anymore.
Oh, the tentacles and eye are still very much there.
Okay, so
Does owl like absorb any of that blood, or is it just
no?
I'm gonna do bardic inspiration on Owl.
Okay, got it. Mack, you're up next. All right, the tentacles are sort of flailing about, looking for prey at this point.
Mack licks his lips because, of course, he does, just out of instinct.
You sort of lick some of the blood off your face, and your tongue burns, and you're going, "Okay, that was a bad idea. That was a bad idea."
Like 50 points of damage.
So, bonus action rage, because why not?
I'll be right
and
there.
then I will, go for, I guess, the eye.
All right, are you gonna dive into the pool? You already know that, like, whatever this stuff is, it is not blood, or it could be blood. It just causes you damage, however.
Instead, can I reach one of the tentacles without diving in?
The tentacles are out and about everywhere. You can reach the tentacles.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just saying, I highly recommend against diving into the pool of blood that just damaged you.
Okay, question. Can I get a grip on the tentacle? Or is it just sort of
advantage? Yes, because it's quite slippery.
With reckless, is it neutral?
Yeah, reckless would be neutral. Yes.
So do I wait? Is it an athletics check or a
It's a grapple check. Technically, it's an athletic check. So yes, you're a disadvantage normally, but you're neutral now.
Raging because okay. So just a base athletics check.
Yes.
19.
All right, DC 22 in this particular case.
Balls 3 short. I got 19.
Okay. All right. You put claws on it, and it just like sloops out of your grip. Okay.
So
well, you still got another attack. So keep on going.
Yeah, it is something solid I can grasp. It's not like a liquid that just my hands instantly pass through.
It's hard to tell. It's like covered in blood. So it's like you grab something.
There we go. That's a 22. 22 exactly.
22. Okay. You manage to dig your claws into whatever squishy spongy underneath all that blood and give it a good yank. Are you trying to pull it out, or what are you doing?
Yeah, with my with my 40 feet of movement, I want to try to get like. That said, I don't know how much movement space I actually have. Like
you go to turn to head out the only exit out of this room, and you notice the door. Like there's maybe a foot of gap underneath it as it's snapping down into place.
So the door we just came through is closing.
Yes, there's like barely enough time this round for like. For people to try to escape out that way.
Yeah, that seems like a great idea.
What about the new one that we were opening up? Is it opening or is it closing again too?
It is opening.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but it's on like the other side.
If you want to make an acrobatics check, you can try to like run and slide under that door. If you fail, you get stuck.
Ow.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to get crushed and/or separated from my team. So
All
I
right,
guess
you
I'll
could
just
just
try to
basically start trying to haul it out of the well. That's
Yeah,
perfectly fine.
that's what I'm gonna try and do. Just
All
sort of
right, so you start hauling. It's like Mack immediately
"Jump over
regrets it.
here!"
It basically starts pulling up more of the creature, and then like rather than just tentacles, now it's just like hundreds of little mouths, basically that make basically noises. It's like yuck.
Somebody stab this thing!
And Mac is not even sure. It's like grappling. You're not even sure if you have it grappled or it has you grappled at this point because it's like,
Yes.
it's like you're going. Well, I don't think holding on to one of 100 tentacles is doing a lot. Zumlar.
I don't care what I'm holding on to. I got it out of the pool and better stabbing range. That's what matters.
Like pretty much the whole radius of the pool, all 20 feet of it. Basically, you've partially hauled it out off to one side, and it is like the whole width of the pool. Zumlar.
Like,
Can I assist?
Well, it's already exposed at this point. What do you it does? The
I'm going
grappling
to attack
doesn't
it.
seem to be doing a whole lot because it's like it's amorphous to begin with, so whether or not you're grappling it or it's grappling you is sort of like hard to tell.
So I am going to attack with my
It's not
blade,
like it
the
has two
summer
arms
sword.
and a leg where you could pin an arm or something. Okay, go ahead and roll the hit twice.
First hit is
Okay, so it doesn't have
25.
super great AC. It has AC 15, so unless people roll really bad, you're gonna hit. Okay, just roll the hit twice, and let's and then are you smiting?
So yeah, I'm smiting, and the first hit is 25.
Okay, that's with your smite. All right.
No, that's just with the sword. That's not with the smite. That's the hit.
Yeah, I'm saying that can't possibly be the number, man. It's like it's a D8 weapon plus possibly like plus 6.
It's a plus 10.
Okay, yes, but you still can't reach 25 from there, man.
I rolled a 15.
Yes, but it's a D10. Let's say, I guess two-handed you can do a D10.
Yeah, I'm rolling to hit.
Okay, yes, I'm saying it's a 15 AC. You hit, man.
Oh. And the second one was 28 to hit.
Okay, great, you hit both times.
Then a D10.
All right, so you're two-handed. Got it.
Two D10 plus 10. 20 damage.
Okay. All right. All right, are you putting any smite into it or no?
Yeah, sorry, that's without the smite, and then.
All right, the
third
Holy
level.
Sword does seem to sear away tentacles as you hack away tentacles with abandon. They don't seem to be coming back, which is good.
Oops. So 51 in total.
All right, got it. All right, you sear away various you chop away and sear the wounds with your summer blade. As sort of there's these horrible puckered wounds left over, but it is still very much alive. Ow.
Okay. So gonna hit it twice with the sword of virtue because I think it'll be susceptible to radiant damage, right?
Yes, it is.
Yes. Okay.
Okay,
Cool.
so let me see. Okay, so this is considered a unholy creature, so it double up your damage. So for your sword.
Sweet. And then so there's the damage. There's just from the sword, and then just from the sword. I also I have a little. What is it? Improved Divine Smite. Can I add that too?
Improved Divine Smite just occurs naturally, so I think, in
But-
fact, improved divine smite isn't smite at all. I think it just tacked on weapon damage, if I remember correctly.
It has all I know is it has a little button for me to press. Like, if I do this, it rolls another dice.
Yeah, I'm saying this does categorize. It is categorized basically as a type of undead. So yes, you do get an extra little bit of bonus damage. In fact, so does Zumlar. Let me add 2 more D8 to his thing. All right. Okay, you got extra 4 damage on top of what you got before, Zumlar.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so okay,
Can
yeah,
I add the other smite as well?
yeah. So
Aw.
add an extra D8 to your smite. Yes, you can use improve holy smite.
Oh yeah, I already rolled that one, I think. And then do I add this? And I can add the divine smite. I think because this isn't favorite enemy. So
Okay, just roll to hit twice first. So I think you
I already did.
You
rolled
already
to hit
did.
twice.
Okay, so you hit 15
They were
twice.
20 and
Great,
22.
perfect. All right, great. Go ahead and give me down total damage.
All right. Yeah, so I rolled the sword smite. Now I'm going to do I want to save like my slightly higher because I've already used my 3rd level spots, so I'm not going to use my seconds. At least save those. So then I'm going to just do 2 divine smites at 1st level.
Okay, so you roll 3d8, so twice.
68 total, right? Do I have that math correct?
That's correct.
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
So use up 2
sorry,
first
I'm
level
really out of
spell
it.
slots, and you do an additional 68.
I'll use 68? Oh, yeah. Okay.
You hit
I'm
20.
just going to roll 4 extra because I've already rolled 2.
Yes.
So I'm just going to do that because I've already
So roll
rolled 2.
48 more, I guess.
Yes. Sorry. Out of it. 20.
All right, so 10, 31 plus double your sword. Okay, got it. All right, so the 2 paladins seem to be like leaving these puckered sear marks wherever their sword strike, holy sword strike. And then Krishana.
So the new door that had the symbol on it, is it opening or closing?
Opening, so it's going up. There's about a foot gap underneath it at this point. If you take a running slide, because the floor is really slick with blood at this point, you could probably get underneath it.
I will try and do that.
All right, go and make a athletics or acrobatics check, whichever is better for your character.
Never mind, that's a natural 1.
All right, you managed to basically get yourself underneath the door and get stuck. So you're sort of like jammed underneath the door at this point. You won't be free until next round. Healer.
Can I attack?
At disadvantage from your current position, yes.
Okay, my turn?
Well, actually, we're gonna finish Krishana's turn first. Okay, so
Okay, all right.
so roll.
You're on deck.
Okay, so you need to roll at disadvantage. So just roll. I think you roll 3 blasts at this point. So re-roll them all again.
That was a miss.
Well, it has 15 AC. It's really hard to miss. I'm saying even with this ad, you probably will still hit.
I yanked it out of the pool.
Okay, so yeah, you hit just fine. So give me the 3d10. Did you also want to hex it, since you can hex for free at this point as your character?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yes.
All right, you basically call the your warlock's hex on your opponent as this upside down pentagram like snaps into place on the creature. And okay, so roll 3d10 plus 3d6. All right, so we got the 3d10 already, so that's 7, 7, 14, 25, 30, 32. Okay, so you displace a whole bunch of blood as like your force bolts rip through this thing. Healer.
Dang, Krishana, that was
Go on.
awesome.
Okay, I have an action and a bonus action.
Yes.
So for my action, I'm going to cast Sacred Flame.
Okay. All right, Sacred Flame sticks.
And my bonus action is to Healing Word Lady Emma at level 3.
Okay.
Hey, that's pretty good.
All right, get 9 hit points back, Lady Emma.
Thank you.
That's like half your hit points, right?
To help.
No, it's like I think even
Now
the
let's
lowest
kill
hit points among you has at least like 80 to 90. That's what it's happening.
It's a wizard joke.
I'm gonna gift healer my breath stealer's cowl.
Thank you. Now let's
You're
kill
welcome.
some other.
Okay,
Sure, you don't need to breathe.
Aurelia, it is your turn, basically. So what are you doing?
I
Summer
don't know.
Stone, Defender of the Realm.
Mhm.
I will use my staff.
Okay.
And I am going to. I'm just gonna cast Fireball on it.
All right.
Fuck it.
The room fills with flame as this sort of softball-sized glob of fire basically impacts the monster, and then the room is basically alight with flame. All the blood that was on the walls, basically, and the floor and the ceiling, incinerates into this black ash that is raining down over the room, and the creature takes how much damage? So roll 8d6.
Okay.
I think it smells great too.
37.
All right. The creature boils and steams as basically a whole bunch of blood boil, flash boils on its surface. It doesn't seem particularly happy, and you're all basically going, still alive. This thing can take a amazing amount of punishment. All right. So I need all right. Let's see here. Okay, so I think it'll choose the paladins, and who else did a lot of damage? The paladins, Krishana, and Aurelia, essentially. All of you.
I'm chewing on it very ferociously.
Nom 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 nom.
As masses of tentacles shoot out of the creature's central core and try to grab the 4 of you.
Wait, what am I rolling? What am I doing?
Dex save.
Where am I?
Oh wait, who's rolling? I'm sorry, I zoned out.
I'm saying it is not targeting you for the engulf attack. Essentially, it's targeting both paladins, Krishana and Emma.
Okay, so Dex save.
Yes.
I have another natural 1.
Okay. Do you want to use your inspiration on this?
22, and I'll grab Krishana.
All right. You're all from a practical standpoint, nobody's going to be able to grab anybody here because it's like this thing is filling the whole room.
Can someone I want to shoot?
Okay, Krishana, did you want to reroll using inspiration or no?
No, I'm okay.
You're going to take... okay, Krishana disappears into the mass. You take 38 points of damage as various mouths chew on various vital bits as you could... You feel basically like 3 of your fingers on your right hand sever off as whatever something nasty bites off the finger. 3 of your fingers on your right hand. DC is 18. Emma, do you have any inspiration left at this point?
Oh, I do. I saved that one from Dirk.
Okay. Okay, that's bardic inspiration. So go ahead and roll a d10. And actually, you're supposed to roll 2d10 and take the better of the 2.
Okay.
Is that how bardic inspiration works?
No, that's specifically how Dirk's the Creation Bard's bardic inspiration works.
Okay,
I keep cutting and pasting it into chat, and you guys keep ignoring it. But obviously, Lawrence noticed. Thank you,
Okay,
Lawrence.
so Lady Emma basically at the you remember that encouraging speech that Dirk gave you before you got
You're good enough. You're smart enough, and doggone it, people like you.
Yes,
Oh
exactly.
my god, I need that speech in real life.
All right,
Stuart
the
Smalley.
people that didn't get engulfed take 16 points of like bitey caustic acid damage, and so that is Emma, Owl, and Zumlar. Essentially, you managed to fend off the tentacles, but get seared pretty badly by the acidic blood. And then Krishana just disappears into the mass entirely.
What about me that's holding him, like, out of the fountain? Do I
I'm
get
saying
affected
you
by
are
any of this?
grabbing like a creature that's 20 foot across, essentially. It's like, this is why I'm saying, like, even for Mack, you're going, am I doing anything? Am I doing anything?
Also, for Krishana's hit, can Owl do Rebuke the Violent to smack that same damage?
Yes, you do it as a reaction, so yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, I need to roll it save.
Smash!
Alright, it's like, it convulses violently as, like, this giant, toothy chomp appears out of its side, as if it generally some sort of, like, unseen mouth basically just took a giant bite out of it.
Like a donut.
Lawrence, as a response, could I have cast Absorb Elements?
I don't know. Does Absorb Elements cover acid damage?
It does.
I think it does.
Okay, so sure. Yes, you can cast Absorb Elements.
Okay. Alright.
Okay, so that'll have the damage again, essentially. So you take 8 rather than 16. Okay. Let's see here. So it does its thing and convulses violently. I need a Mack. I need a new athletics check to DC 22 to keep hold of it.
Is this still advantage, or is it?
It's the same deal. It's hard to hold on to because it's covered in
got
slime.
it. Ooh, not good. 11. I'm gonna.
All right, it like slips your grasp at this point, so it can
Yeah,
retreat
right.
back into the pool if it wants to. Not that it's going to do that, but it can if it wants to. Okay, let's see here, and then finally, at the end of its round, it's one giant eyeball at the top. Basically, focuses on the two paladins. As you see the glitter of your swords basically suddenly go blank, as there used to have a fierce glows around your swords. The both swords basically look like plain steel all of a sudden.
Front row.
Uh-oh.
Think the radiant damage is gone on that one.
Okay, as its eye continues to just like this main eye just continues to focus on you. Dirk.
Okay. Dirk is gonna pour some holy water on his rapier and dart in and stab it and I think I can do this at a location right where I'm flanking, so I can have advantage on that. Does that sound?
Well, we're not using flanking to begin with, and flanking also doesn't apply to oozes anyways because they don't have a back.
Okay, so unless I have advantage, I can't do.
You can do a sneak attack just fine. You're
Okay.
like other people are attacking this thing. So
Okay.
you can do your sneak attack, you just don't get advantage for it.
Okay. Well, I got 27, so that's okay.
No
All right.
problem. You stab it. Go and give me
Okay.
sneak attack damage.
So
And
that's
give yourself an additional 2d8 for holy water damage.
okay. So that's 13 for regular, and then sneak attack is 5d6. And then you said okay, so that's 13, 15. That's 28. And then you said how much for the holy
2d8.
what? 2d8. Okay. And that's another 8.
28, 35. Okay. So everybody's consistently putting like good hits in on this thing. The holy water, the fire, the holy attacks all seem to be like sealing tentacles away so they don't reemerge. So it's beginning to lose its ability to basically do anything but grab people at least.
And Dirk is going to disengage and back up after he hits it too.
Okay. Right. Now I'll start using some of his legendary actions. Mack. Just like the John Carpenter's The Thing, basically the tentacle you're holding onto, where you're holding onto suddenly turns into mouths as both your hands will like slip into the tentacle as it like snaps down on your hands. I need a con save.
Gee.
Oh, one of the few things I'm actually good at. Fuck! 14. I rolled a 5.
All right. You don't get one of your hands away in time, as it literally chews off like your right hand.
I needed that.
Oh.
Okay, and you take
Okay.
18 points of maximum hit point damage.
Ooh,
Ouch.
fuck. Just hypothetical question.
As there's this sort of layer of bubbling blood, like searing the wound at this point.
Hypothetical. Well, 2 questions. One, if I saved, would I take that damage? Like, would I still have my hand?
You would still have your hand, but you would take some damage.
Okay, take damage. 2, if I summon my, just hypothetically, if I were to summon my Echo, does it still have both of its hands?
Sure, why not? Sure.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I can work with this. Yeah, okay. 18. So I take.
It's not like missing a
18.
hand actually limits your ability to attack as Mack, right?
Yeah,
You still
but that
have
was my good
to attack
hand.
with your hand.
And Thea can attack things if she doesn't have to reattach your hand.
Yes.
So is that both hit point and maximum hit point damage, or just maximum hit point damage?
Effectively the same thing. It lowers your current hit point total by 18 as well. So.
But I'm not at max hit points, so I'm at 106. What do I
Yeah,
take?
so you take 18 damage, and your maximum hit points are
Got
reduced to 18. So,
Ow.
which is to say, you're missing bits of yourself, so you don't have.
So if you have inspiration, why don't you do that?
Yeah, I got. Ooh, wow, I got 5 inspirations. I'll burn one to see if I can.
Oh
save
yeah, hello,
Sorry,
hoarder
it's taking
man.
So long. 25, much better.
Okay, all right. So you just take the 18 damage for like almost lose a hand, and it's like oh, it's still attached. That's good. That's good.
Better.
As you sort of like you almost deglove your hand, basically pulling it out of the jaw.
Oh, can I is this like physical damage? Can I have this, or is it?
It is physical
magical?
damage. You can have it.
Oh, so 9. Even
Yes.
better. Sorry that
Okay.
took so long. Continue.
Zumlar, you're looking at the giant eyeball that seems to be tracking you and Al wherever you go at this point. From a tactical standpoint, it looks like if you break the different directions, it probably can't cover you both with whatever it's doing at the moment. But it also leaves one of you vulnerable if you basically break from each other. So what are you doing?
Who's gonna be
Pulling my shield out and hunkering down next to Owl.
Okay, so you're sticking together. All right.
Yeah.
All right. All right. What else are you doing?
I'm going to hack and slash.
Your blade, now that it has no holy fire on it and seems to be completely mundane, does nothing.
I am going to put some holy water onto it.
Okay. All right. So you put some holy water onto it. Go ahead and roll the hit first, and then if you hit, do 2d8 damage.
The first one is 29.
Okay. Hits.
And the other is 23.
Well, you have to use your bonus action for the holy water, so you can only do it once, effectively. But okay, so are you gonna put any? The second hit doesn't do anything, but are you gonna put any smite into the first one?
Yes.
Or the second one, I guess.
I am, yes, a 3rd level smite.
Okay, so that is 3 dice plus.
Can I put smite into both of them?
You can put smite into both of them. Keep in mind, you need to reserve some slots for. This isn't even the main bad guy, so keep in mind.
Okay, yeah.
Be careful of burning all your.
So I'll use one smite
when you reach Davenport. Otherwise, that will be a bad fight.
It's gonna be such a bad fight.
Okay.
It's gonna be
Okay, so it's if you use 3rd level slots, that is 5d8. So then there's 2d8 so 7d8 for the first hit. All right.
34.
All right. So keep in mind, you're probably out of 1st level slots and probably only have down to no 3rd level slots since you've already used some 3rd level smites. So, okay, so you sear a glowing path straight through this thing. Fortunately, the Summer Sword, technically, even in its non-magical state, can't be actually destroyed. So it's like, even though acidic blood is like all over it, you just fling it off and it looks shiny and new, just as it was before. The same is true of Owl's Sword. Okay, do you want to smite the second time as well, or no?
No. No, I'm not.
All right, so the second one, basically, your sword simply like passes through without any resistance, and you're going, I don't think that did anything. Ow.
How many shots from the cannon do I have again?
You have 5 left.
5.
But you're also in an anti-magic zone at the moment, so your cannon simply will fail to work.
Fuck. Okay,
Wait.
cool.
It does? I thought it was purely mechanical.
It is, but it's immune to non-magical weapons, so you don't have magic ammo, you can't do anything to it, so I wouldn't use your cannon at this point.
But
Gotcha.
Dirk's holy water seemed to do some stuff. So if you don't have radiant, maybe holy water will substitute.
So if you want to basically like douse a grape shot canister, basically load it in and fire it, you're more than welcome to do so.
So I'll have 4 then for the final boss.
Yes.
Also, I thought the ball did fire damage, not force damage. Am I wrong?
I'm saying it's just like a normal cannon. It's like
Okay. Whatever you say the rules are. I'm just trying to keep track of what's what.
the gunpowder is probably not particularly magical, but I'm saying the ammo has to be, otherwise it doesn't do anything to this creature.
I mean, why not? Yeah, douse a ball in some holy water and shoot it.
All right,
with
you load in basically a grape shot canister and like pour some holy water in there. This is your whole action, and fire it off. The creature basically absorbs like most of it, but you cause some amount of damage. So roll 3d8 for me.
All right.
As some of the balls rip through, leaving like streaks of basically white light running through this thing's core.
Yeah.
At this point, the creature seems to be like partially discorporating. As you can see, it begin to like ooze blood from all of its wounds all over the place, to where it's no longer like as solid as it was before. Okay, I will use its secondary legendary, well, actually, its third legendary action at this point. It disappears into the pool of blood.
Oh.
As there's just sort of like, and there's a little ripple across, single ripple across the surface of the blood as the creature disappears quickly as it appeared.
And where's
however, is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah,
you're looking around your team.
Has anyone seen Krishana?
I think she disappeared into the giant blood monster.
Yeah. You noticed that Krishana actually got swallowed because you happen to be on the same side as Krishana.
So on my turn, Krishana was going to freak out and try and imagine or view the other side of the door that she was trying to slide under and cast Dimension Door.
Okay, you do so. Okay, so Dimension Door works unerringly. However, the teleport trap also works unerringly. You appear basically in this infinite mirror prison, being continuously slashed by blades. So you go from one shitty situation to another shitty situation as invisible blades slice you in the teleport trap for 38 points of slashing damage.
Oh.
Okay, so she's down.
Okay.
Oh my god.
All right, so Krishana is effectively killed at this point.
Do we know where she is?
No.
Okay.
You could always try to locate her by using locator spells, but no, you don't know where she is at the moment.
Do I have locator spells? Oh, fuck.
Okay, so, but that being said, essentially everybody's going, did it get somebody? It's like, it got Krishana. It's like, do we dive after it? What the fuck do we do now? Because you don't know till Krishana actually tried to teleport away. So.
Yeah, so as far as we know, she's still in there and we need to go get her.
Yeah.
I'm going to use locate object to see if I can locate her down below.
Okay, well, all your magical gear and spells seem to be working again now that the creature's eyeball is not upon you. Roll an Arcana check, I guess. So You're gonna get some really nonsensical direction, like straight into the ground or through a wall or something.
17.
Okay, so you get a nonsensical reading, like at an angle straight down into the ground, almost at the full extent, basically, of your locate object, because you pick one of like Krishana's personal like her clothing or like a dagger she wears at her side or something along those lines, and that's where it says it is.
I'm like, that's weird. She's not actually in the area of the.
She's not in the pool, to be sure. She's like way too far away. She's like at the full 1,000-foot range, at the very far edge of your spell.
I will relay this to the rest of the party.
Okay, the door at this point is like easily like 4 feet up at this point. Does everybody exit stage left at this point out the door?
Yep. I mean,
Mack is still tentatively looking at the pool, hoping to pull the thing back out.
Well, it will
Zumlar
come
will
out
walk
basically
over.
eventually, maybe this round, in fact, but basically, you all act before it does. So, do you, as you all rush out the door, there's a sort of like sulfurous stench. The whole passageway fills with poison gas. Con saves for everybody.
Fuck.
As you run outside, and it's like, of course, there's another trap on the outside of this
I'm
door.
gonna use a lucky on that because that was not so good.
I also got a nat 20.
Okay,
Let's
well,
go.
actually, we're gonna use the click roll here. Click. You hear the trap go off. You have a moment to do something as you see greenish, suspicious green gas basically pouring out of vents all up and down this corridor. It's roughly about 60 feet long. So, all right.
Can
So,
Owl or with? Oh, sorry.
okay. We'll start with Dirk. So, what are you doing, Dirk?
So we've come out into the hallway and we've
Come out
triggered
into the-
poison
come out into the
gas.
hallway, you hear a very distinct click, and then like poison gas begins pouring in through vents all up and down this hallway.
Vents. Okay.
What was that new word that Al taught me? Oh yes, shit balls.
I don't think I have anything great for this. And it sounds mechanical. It doesn't even sound magical.
That is correct. So you've stepped on a pressure plate of some sort. Someone in your team did. Everybody heard the loud click, and now it's like there's poison gas pouring out into the corridor.
And how long is the corridor?
About 60 feet long.
Okay. So how about I dash and try to make it down the corridor?
Okay, make me an athletics check. Well, actually, you make me an athletic check. If you do so, your con save is at an advantage. Your DC 15. Rogues are particularly good at reacting in fast clutch situations. So
yeah, well, that's an
okay. Well, that wasn't very helpful. Okay,
no,
so
not really, not really.
You basically managed to stumble down the corridor, or still in the corridor. All right, normal con save, DC 18.
Ouch.
Okay, so the save for everybody's reference for the poison gas is a con save DC 18.
Jesus, I got it!
Full damage is 40, half damage is 20.
I got it! It's a miracle.
Okay.
Tree, I don't believe you're you. You've been rolling well all night.
Okay, so
Well, I'm clearly doomed from now on, but yeah.
Dirk has the presence of mind to put a wet cloth over their mouth and nose, and takes half damage. Let's see, Mack.
I got a 29 on my con save.
Okay, so you take half the damage, 20. Zumlar.
I got 23.
Okay, so you take half the damage, 20. Ow.
I had gotten a nat 20 to make for like 20.
Okay, so you're
What was
fine.
it?
You take half the damage, 20. Krishana is floating in pieces in the void, and healer.
I got enough, but I also am poison resistance.
So you take half of half if you made it.
Nice.
So you take 10, for instance.
All right.
Okay, and then Aurelia.
I got a nat 20, so I got 23.
Okay, so you take
Nice.
half for 20. If anybody has any ability they would like to use during a click or option they would like to use during the click, the trap is set off phase, you have the same option as Dirk. So,
Can I like phase step away from it?
you roll a wisdom check.
Well, never mind.
Because
All
all,
right,
all the teleporting
Lady
spells
Emma,
are weird,
Do
right?
you actually do the phase step at this point?
No.
Okay, Lady Emma, remember, has the nagging suspicion in the back of her mind is like, there's something bad that happens when you teleport around here. Maybe I shouldn't teleport.
Yeah, that was when we read the thing that
Because,
went off.
The Yellow King controls time and space within his own palace, and it's like,
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't do that anyway.
okay, so all right, so unless anybody else wanted to try anything else, I think that's it. So you rush to the end of the corridor. Dirk basically pulls out the the red painter's pigments and paints over a wall over the passageway to keep the poison gas from spreading into the place your guys are at currently. And you're standing in a a radiant like reception room with beautiful stained glass, but nothing is at right angles to each other. There's just basically all these weird oblique angles making up everything, as if you were in this sort of low polygon, basically, room made of golden and yellow and silver stained glass. On the far side of the room sits a simple seat or pedestal that one might basically perch upon to receive visitors, and then around the rest of the room are what appear to be like comfortable chaise lounges and divans and partisans and sort of like big cushions that one might like a couple people might sit on and converse. And then there's curtains made of like shimmering, scintillating material that sort of looks gauzy, but not all completely there. Okay, so you have entered the Hall of Mirrors.
Oh,
Is that where Krishana is, or she's in a different place?
The locate object spells indicates essentially that it's still easily 1,000 feet ahead.
Okay.
So it's like, well, I guess 900 feet ahead at this point. The passageway sloped a little bit going down, so you're at least appear to be on the same level as Krishana is on at this point. And it points directly behind the throne, but there doesn't appear to be any exits out of this room.
How many hit points are you at, Emma?
So this is a good point. There doesn't seem to be anything immediately trying to kill you in this room, so this is a good point to heal up.
I'm at 38 hit points out of 100.
Well, if we can get a breather from the gas, we can use their healing potions, right?
Well, I'm saying you already did that. I'm just saying you used the red painter's pigments, which was an magic item you picked up earlier, which is like an extra big version of like Nuzar's wondrous pigments.
Okay, so everybody, why doesn't everybody use a healing potion or two?
Okay.
And so I always forget what these are. Is that
Okay, so everybody first gets a mass healing word. You all get 10.
okay?
Thank you.
All 10?
Everybody gets 10.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. I am glad to help.
And
Thank
then
Alright, where's my inventory?
Oh wait, can we use some hit dice?
You want to basically try to spend an hour in here?
I think that we need to try and find Krishana, so I don't think we need to take a short rest. But we have healing potions. Everybody bought healing potions at the college.
That's true. Yeah.
This is the time to use them because they're fast.
There's a limited amount on how many you can reasonably carry. We'll say 10. So all of you started this adventure with 10.
Okay.
You have a full potion case worth of healing potions at this point.
And what were those worth? Because I always forget.
So it's 2d4 plus 2.
Okay.
Oops, my bad. 2d.
Okay.
1, 2
10.
plus
Oh,
2.
Krishana had the diamond,
7,
so we can't
8, and then another one.
But we can't what?
revivify because Krishana has the diamond.
Oof.
You can't
Unless
revivify
we
because
all
it's
buy
already been more than 1 minute.
Yeah.
I just realized when I did the mass healing word, I accidentally damaged myself 10 instead of healing 10. So I had to go back
Oh my god.
and heal 10 twice because I was just like, oh, wait a minute. It didn't get better.
Wait a second.
Glad I noticed.
What happened?
Keep in mind it's 2d4 plus 2, so add plus 2 to those rolls.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes to both.
Okay. I'm gonna go heat up some water for tea. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
Something hot leaf juice.
Yeah, guys, I'm not really comfortable, like, just accepting that Krishana is dead. I would like to try and get through this and see if we can't save her.
Mack is still very much concerned of, like, what happened? Why did she go?
I don't have resurrection prepared.
Same.
Does anybody have, what is that thing where you, like, something the dead, where you like get extra time before you have to
Oh.
Well, and I mean, and revivify is 1 minute, right? So this is probably going to be longer than 1 minute.
You mean spare the dying?
Yeah. Do you have spare the dying?
I have spare the dying.
Okay, because that's a cantrip, right? So you can do that, and then that gives you extra time. We just carry her around until we have a chance to get a long rest in.
Right.
Yeah, I carried Ryan around in a bag, little bits of him for like 1.5 sessions.
I remember that.
Because all the slots were taken up, and we were doing this thing where to get a short rest, we had to rest for a day, and to get a long rest, we had to rest for a week. And so, like, we never got a long rest. It was
Yeah.
we had
that was rough.
Yeah, James had that
Not
like
bird
dimension
corpse
box
in your bag.
Yeah, it was that was when we got hit with the meteor storm, right?
Yeah, that shit hurted.
Yeah, I went down hard, and James brought me up with lay on hands, or I would have been done, and then you wouldn't have gotten picked up and put in the bag.
Yeah.
So that was a team sport.
I spent a good while in that bag. All the memories.
It was a great
All
bag.
I see is a swirling dust and dirt and crap that everyone put in there. Oh my god.
The other one is other Ryan had essentially a wish spell, and so his wish was that his sword would be ready on time for this massive battle for his family and everything. And so, because wish spells are kind of tricky, what happened was we got pushed forward in time and completely missed the battle.
Yep.
Oh my god.
It was the boots of haste that I wanted, which
You
if
could-
you don't know, boots of haste are one of the strongest items in the entire game.
Yeah,
you
but
haste on your spells.
You hissed off Lawrence for pushing on that, and yeah.
You told me to use it.
I did not.
Yes, you did. Everyone was like,
No.
just use the spell. We have nothing better to use it on right now. And I'm like, I don't think it's a good idea. That seems like something very selfish.
Yeah. I think the way you remember this, I have notes from this. Do I need to go back and check my notes?
Yes, because I have a very good memory when it comes to things like this.
I think you're having a memory thing there. All right. Are you smelling any burnt toast?
All I smell is victory. And actually, no.
No, you didn't. Half your family died, and they lost almost everything. Hi, Lawrence.
I am smelling my neighbor barbecue something next door.
Hey, Lawrence. Do you remember when Ryan had that wish spell and he decided to use it to try and get Boots of Haste faster than you felt like they could prepare it for him? I remember it that we told him not to use his wish spell, but he wanted to have them. And he remembers that he said, "Oh no, it should be used for some greater purpose." And I told him, "Oh no, you should do the right thing for you and get the boots." Do you remember this at all? I'm dubious.
This campaign?
No, this was when
No,
we
this
were
is
doing the portal hopping
Portal
one.
Hopper one.
When what you did is you took the wish spell and took us out of time and space, so we missed the entire battle where like half his family was killed because he wanted to get the boots of haste.
Yes. Yes, I remember that.
You remember that? I didn't want to use the wish spell.
I don't remember that at all.
No.
In fact, I think you insisted. Well, I'll not right now because we're clearly in a battle, but I will go back and check those notes. If I'm wrong, I will apologize. If I'm
Okay.
right, I'm going to tell you. What now?
I was just saying my vote goes to Tree.
Of course it does, but I remember these things very clearly. I would love to know if I'm actually
Tree
wrong.
writes that shit down.
I do,
Okay,
and I have
so,
almost total
yes,
recall,
you,
but it's okay. Go ahead.
You take like 3 or 4 minutes to like patch yourselves up, and you feel better. You no longer have like horrific scar wounds all over all over the place from acid and bites. You're still worried what has happened to Krishana, and you're in the Hall of Mirrors. There's a sort of short little throne at one end of the room, and a whole bunch of comfortable seating everywhere else. And shimmering veils of illusion that sort of waft through the room continuously.
Okay, can Dirk use his wand of dispel magic?
You do so, and then everything appears. The room looks significantly more plain, still mirrored on like inside and out from the ceiling to the ceiling, walls, and floor, but no longer sort of this mysterious iridescent place. But yes, the walls are literally made of mirrors, and so is that sort of like Papazon, sort of like a big puffy throne that's sitting on one side of the room. A lot of the chairs turn out to be illusionary, but some of them are real.
Okay.
Owl keeps running into mirrors because she can't see.
And then, like within moments, essentially, we're talking about less than a second, the illusion reestablishes itself.
So Zumlar, which way is Krishana? Can you point us there?
You're pointing directly that way behind the throne. Someone roll a wisdom check.
Not it.
I will.
I have a +8.
That's a nat 20.
Nat 20. Zumlar remembers, like, wasn't one of the phrases in the poem that's like he controls time and space within his palace. I may not be getting a really accurate reading here. So I don't know how much we should trust, basically, that the spell is actually working the way it's supposed to be working.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Okay, so if this is a mirrored room, then likely there's going to be a door somewhere, but it's going to be covered in a mirror and we're not going to do it. So Dirk would like to investigate and see if he can find where the other door is, and that's a 23.
Okay. Does anybody have true sight available to them, like Aurelia or Healer?
I have true smell.
Well, that might help. Go ahead and roll a perception check at normal.
Oh, I have a wand
Me?
of revealing.
Ah,
Oh, that's
someone
helpful.
remembers to have that. This allows you to dispel all illusion and see the truth of things. Do you wish to use it?
Yeah.
That. Okay. Let's see how this goes.
Okay, I need you to make a wisdom save.
Yup, there it is.
It's okay. I have a +8 on wisdom saves. I say tentatively.
Okay,
Yeah.
no problem. Like, Emma
Let's
steals her
go!
mind, knowing that basically that the wand of revealing also always reveals some horrible truth about the person who's using it.
Cool.
As you're going, yeah, I sacrificed a human child to make a staff. Yes, yes, I know this, right?
I know.
It's in the back of Emma's mind is basically there's some part of like there's some Jiminy Cricket part of Emma's mind going. It's like I should be upset about this, but I'm really not.
Like that one scene from Puss in Boots. It's just, you're not gonna shoot a puppy in the face, or shoot a puppy, are you, Jack? Yes, in the face. Why?
All right. She pulls out the wand of revealing. There's a pulse of like sickly green energy that wafts from the wand and reveals the room as it is. The Zumlar's Zumlar's locate object suddenly like swerves like wildly in different directions as he gets dizzy for a moment. Like, wow, that hurt my head. And he gets a new bearing sort of directly to your right, basically.
Do we have any sort of feel for how far away it is? I know you said it was 900 feet before.
It's not too far away. It's maybe
Okay.
maybe only about 100 feet away, not like 900 feet away, like it was detected before. Okay, so the room is room is revealed as is. You notice now that the room is revealed as is, you notice basically there's various beings sort of like made of glass and shadow, sort of like wafting through the basically images, basically sort of like touching you in your touching your image, basically inside your reflection inside the mirror every so often.
Ew.
And directly to the right and behind the big throne, and directly to your left are what are obviously doors, but there's no handles.
Who needs a fucking handle?
Well, Zumlar might be able to slide. Is the sword back to
It's back to normal.
Okay.
It's just like sort of think of this like the Beholder's anti-magic ray. So that's
All
it was
right.
suppressed while it was in there.
So, guys, do you want me to try and investigate this door, or do you want to let Zumlar just slash it and see what happens?
Let's go. Yeah, I'm slashing it.
Okay.
All right, go ahead and just roll athletics to.
And we're gonna do the door on the.
In the right place because you don't really know where the hinges are. So.
And this is the way towards Krishana.
This is the way towards Krishana.
Okay.
That's a 21.
Okay. No problem. You slash your door open. You only take minor damages. the part of the like sharp steel hard shards of glass like rain down from the ceiling in this area as you destroy the door. You take 10 points of slashing damage. You manage to put your shield up in time. But some of them pierce almost all the way through the shield. The door suddenly collapses forward with a heavy thud. It's really thick. It's easily like a foot thick of stone. The mirror-like beings in the that seem to be trying to get your attention for some reason. You're not quite sure why. So they said they sort of shadowy beings made of like reflections of the light and floating bits of glass that appear like next to your images in the mirror seem to be like tapping on your shoulder and waving at you, and you're looking at them going, should I pay you some attention or are we moving on?
What are we paying attention to? I zoned out.
So you see in the mirrored walls around you, your reflections show these sort of beings made of light and shadow and little shards of mirror trying to tap you on the shoulder, your image on the shoulder, or wave at you. They obviously don't exist in the room. They only exist in your reflection.
Can I check it anyway and see?
All right. Well, it's your call.
that.
It's like, do you want to spend the time to do it or not? Otherwise, you give them the glance, and that's about it.
I'll give him a glance, and that's about it.
Okay. So you move on. There's a passageway ahead that goes maybe about 30, 40 well, actually, let's say about 40 feet, terminates in the backside of a heavy stone door. The image of the Yellow King has been carefully carved upon this door. There's a handle on this side, sort of like a simple brass handle that you would twist to open the door.
Mack, just wanting to see how he looks covered in blood from fighting the giant octopus thingy, will like go up and like look in the mirror and like almost
All right,
like loosen.
roll me disadvantage. What is it? Perception check. It probably whatever it is trying to communicate something to you on the other side of the mirror, and you're not quite sure what it is.
Disadvantage perception, you said?
Yes, disadvantage, perception, or insight, whichever is better for
Oh
you.
my, that's a 22.
Woohoo!
All right.
I rolled 16s.
That's amazing.
It seems to be indicating that like the path you're headed on is dangerous. To turn back.
Well, that doesn't seem like new knowledge.
Okay. It's just basically like making all these go back motions.
Yeah, this is like the Wizard of Oz, you know, the little signs before the witch's castle. It's like, yeah.
All right, so you basically Mac shakes his head, shakes his mane, and like pats down some of the like like pointier bits of his fur that aren't smudged with blood at this point.
Yeah, like I just do that dog thing. The dogs when they're wet, they like go into drill mode and just shake the blood off of me, but like not near anyone because I know that's kind of gross.
Yeah, but it's dried by now, so you're just spiky.
Take out the blood, it just sort of looks worse, and now there's blood like splattered all over mirrors next to you.
We need Krishana for prestidigitation.
Okay. All right, you're all standing in front of one of these the stone door that I described. It has a tableau of the Yellow King like carved into it, and a simple brass handle.
Okay. Do we want to try a dispel magic on this thing?
Well, given that like everything has been trapped so far, that wouldn't be a bad plan.
Yeah. Okay. So Dirk is going to use the wand with dispel magic on it.
Bloop. Okay, roll an Arcana check. You need 13 or above.
21! Jeebus!
Okay, no problem.
I don't know what.
All right,
Did
Bloop.
somebody hack my dice?
The
Because
image
this
of the
is.
Yellow King basically sort of like begins to mold and meld itself into the door until there's the plain stone face of the door. At that point, Dirk carefully racks the door open, and it looks like the hinges are on the inside, so you swing it open. What lies before you? Everybody make a wisdom check as you see space and time like warped and twisting on each other, and bits of Krishana floating around in this warped space and time.
God. And so you said a
wisdom
wisdom
save?
check, right?
So just think of basically like shards of reality sort of rolling over each other like broken glass, and you see bits of Krishana floating around in this this vortex.
Lawrence, pardon me. Did you say save or check?
Save. So this is
Oh,
wisdom
okay.
save. I'm sorry.
25.
Wait.
I rolled really high. What is happening? Everyone's rolling really well.
What's the DC on this?
Except me.
DC is 18 because this is highly disturbing for everybody. Everybody knows
Jeebus.
Krishana is like
Okay.
Krishana is
Is
dead.
this a save or wisdom check?
Oh,
Okay, because my wisdom save, I got a 28.
Jesus Christ.
Okay,
Got
you're
an
fine.
18 on wisdom save.
Okay, so DC is 18. All right, so let's see here.
Dirk does not get that.
I didn't get there. I'm gonna die.
Okay, full damage is what is it? Full damage is 10 maximum.
Oh, I
hit
gave
points
you.
damage.
Sorry, Lady Emma. I was going to give you 70 points on Down Hands earlier.
Okay, failed save causes you 10 maximum hit point damage. Lower your maximum hit points and your current hit points by 10. And then the save does half that.
So when I click on that, am I overriding max hit point damage? Is that what that is?
No, all max hit point damage is cumulative.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out how to do it in
So if you want to fix
Okay,
max hit point
I got
damage,
it.
the
I got
healer
it.
can start casting regenerates on people, but of course that's an expensive spell to be
That was
casting.
a
I
very
figured out how to make it happen in D&D Beyond, which is what I
Okay.
wanted. So that was cool.
Tap on your health. There should be a max HP
Yeah,
modifier.
I got
It's
it,
something
and
like
I just
10.
did a minus
Okay.
thing, and it
Okay.
did it. Yeah, it's down.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think I'm down by like 20 max hit points.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Well, because I had a max hit point earlier that
Right, he's been throwing those tonight. But let's try and figure out what's going on with Krishana first, because that's urgent, and then we obviously need some healing.
Okay, so there's this distorted space-time vortex before you. This is Aurelia, being the sort of resident person that has teleport spells and has researched it. Basically, this is a teleport trap, a particularly nasty one. Basically, that tears the person apart after it snares them.
Can I dispel magic?
Yes, you can certainly dispel
Are
it.
you seeing how broken this spell is yet?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm really enjoying myself right now. Okay, I cast dispel magic.
Okay, so need to roll Arcana check. So
Okay.
unless you're going to cast it at higher spell slots.
I have a plus 11 Arcana.
Do it!
Haha.
Do it!
3.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay, well, actually, I should have asked for a dispel check, which is just your d20 plus your intelligence bonus. But you make it either way. So the broken space time basically dissipates, and then bits of Krishana begin to rain down to the floor.
Jesus.
Okay, start gathering it up. Gather it up and put it in this bag.
Yes.
Healer gathers up every bit of.
Yeah. Gotta catch them all. Don't worry, Krishana. We'll take care of you.
Oh, and we have to go around and collect all of Krishana's little items.
Yeah. Her
Well,
engagement
all our items,
ring.
basically, a lot of them are artifacts, so they simply remain untouched, unmarred. Though their wearer obviously is not so untouched.
Yeah, we'll get her ring for sure.
Yeah.
Should I roll an investigation check to make sure I am finding pieces?
Nah, don't bother. My smell got them all. Like, if there was any
We're
pieces
gonna
that
say-
right,
And
you
then-
could have smelled it.
You're gonna cast gentle repose on it, right?
For purposes, I'm gonna say your team takes the time to gather all the pieces at this
Okay.
point. So you spend a good 20
only-
minutes doing this, allowing all of you to gather up all the pieces.
Okay, and then gentle repose on it, right?
So it doesn't
Yeah.
rot. Or turn
Well,
undead,
can't be
which
affected
is
by-
probably the more important part in here.
Yeah, I
Right.
can't turn undead. Especially, wait, didn't Krishana's body become, like, undead already beforehand? Like, she got turned all gray and shit?
Oh, she had her soul sucked out of her body, yes.
So we also grabbed the book, right?
Yes, the book seems to be completely unmarred.
How odd. Typically, that indicates it being magic. Like, even Mack at this point, it's seen...
Someone want to go, take a look at the book at this point? Because none of you have
God.
actually looked at this thing. Some of you are curious what it was.
Mack only knows...
Specifically, Emma and probably Al.
I was gonna say, is someone gonna hold Owl back on that one, because she would just like, what's this?
Yeah, I can go look at it.
Okay, let me give you bardic inspiration before you go look at it, okay?
Okay, Aurelia and Owl are going peering at the book. Hey, what's this? Essentially, did he get this out of the Mystic Library from the Davenports? It's another one of those crazy super magical tomes.
Ooh, shiny.
Shiny. All right,
No.
Token, both of you need to make wisdom saves.
Zumlar will stop Owl from doing it.
Can you just
Or
smack
attempt
him, Al? Because he doesn't have any right to do this to you. I think you just need to smack him.
Yeah, Owl's just gonna bite him out of pettiness.
Oh no.
Hey,
Also, don't I still have inspiration from Dirk? I haven't used any yet.
Yeah, I don't think you have.
It only lasts a minute. Last I checked.
well, it lasts
don't
10
let me-
minutes, so it's like
Does it? Well,
so.
that's
Do
even
I-
better.
But everybody still has inspiration from the beginning of this session if you haven't already spent it on anything else. So
Oh,
okay.
yeah. What's the
good.
save on this one?
DC is 18.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna use my inspiration from the top of the game.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure you don't want to mine.
It was closer. But no
Okay.
thanks.
Owl suffers 10 maximum hit point damage. Lady Emma suffers 5, and this because at this late stage in the game, I'm not going to bother tracking insanity because it's a pain in the ass, basically, for it.
True.
So we're just going to do maximum hit point damage instead.
Yeah, I'm gonna make an insanity tracker like before the start of next.
No,
time.
I'm just
gonna,
saying
like,
from mechanically, like it's fun to have insanity like mid game. It's like at the very last
Yeah.
session, there's no point.
Yeah.
Because the only thing that could happen is like you get disabled, and then it's like, oh, I have to sit out the rest of the game. So it's like,
Well, and
Yeah.
the fact that we're also cursed at this point, insanity is almost a moot point, right?
that is also
Well,
true.
some
because
points
All of
still-
you have, a lot of you have significantly warped views, except for perhaps Healer and Dirk on how you view life at this point.
Yeah, that tracks.
Okay, so Al immediately gets this like horrible bit of arcane knowledge out of the book. It's like
Another one
how
for
to
the collection.
reassemble the dead it's like as Al basically opens the book, basically flips to this page that looks like a flayed man and starts chanting this chant. It's like Clato, Varactus, Nicto. It's like and it just can't. And she just like spouts all these various Latin words, and all the pieces of Krishana like march themselves out of the bag and reassemble themselves into Krishana.
Holy shit!
Whoa, Al!
For me?
And then Al just like blinks. I was like, what?
Krishana at this point is like her skin is all emaciated. You can see like ribs and bone and like bits of her cheekbone exposed. Essentially, her left of her face is like pulled back into like this rictus grin. Still weirdly attractive because she still has a high charisma score, but it's just like the hottest undead chick you've ever seen.
Just belongs in Monster High.
Exactly. So,
So she's
her eyes snap open with like the blue glow of undeath. So at this point, Krishana, you are actually undead. So you're immune to poison. I think you're immune to cold. You take double damage from holy or radiant attacks. You don't need to sleep. You don't need to eat. You smell a
need to
little bad.
What is my hit points at?
Your hit points at 1.
And so if we
All right,
give
the,
her a healing potion, what
Takes
happens?
The book out of Owl's hand, snaps it shut at this point. It's like, and it's thinking in the back of her mind, it's like, well, there's no freaking point basically getting my soul back now. Like I'm already full undead now.
You're basically a lich at this point.
So
That
if
book
we
is your
give her a healing potion, what happens?
You give her a healing potion, it doesn't do anything.
Okay, well,
Oh.
I thought healing potions hurt her at this point.
okay, that's what I was
Like
thinking.
all healing on her is reversed in theory.
Well,
I thought that
Like a
was
cure
that
wounds,
crap.
I think should hurt.
But
her.
does anybody actually have cause wounds or any necrotic damage spells?
Aurelia can cause fire as necrotic damage.
Strangely
That's-
enough,
She
yes.
can.
I guess
Oh,
that's
yeah.
actually
Black
another way of doing this.
I forgot my fire was necrotic now.
Well, you can
Well,
do
it's an
either.
option. You can use normal fire, or you can use the the forbidden fire, essentially that you learn from the black book.
okay,
Dark Souls,
Emma, I did 2 healing potions on you for 16 healing.
Alright,
Sadly, I don't have any flex tape.
I'm up to 51.
Okay, is anybody else dire?
Do we got 2 minutes?
I'm decent.
Yeah, I think we got more time than that. What the fuck happened to you?
I got 18.
So do
What?
I?
Okay,
Well,
I'm
you
gonna
gotta
cast-
describe it however you like. You said I tried to teleport out, and then I ended up here, and then got chopped to bits.
I mean, why are you gray and undead?
She is gonna go over and cast.
Krishana basically says, "That's something you should be asking Al." That's something.
And I think you can point out to him that he's covered in dried blood and he's spiky like a porcupine too. Like
I'm like Knuckles. Do you know
Okay.
me?
I'm gonna use my firebolt cantrip and make it necrotic.
All right, you use the secret of the black flame, basically zot Krishana with it. It's like it's sort of a wash because you're doing some fire damage and some necrotic damage, but you're coming out like roughly ahead, maybe about 3 or 4 hit points every shot. So you slowly see her burn and get a little bit better burn. And Krishana's going, ow, 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 God, jeez. All right, so it's about 8 minutes later of Aurelia zotting her before she's like full up on hit points again.
yay!
Okay, so if we're waiting 8 minutes, I am gonna cast my capstone heal with my 1 sorcery point to double the time. Aura of Vitality to heal.
All right, so you heal, what is it? That's 20 d6 or 20 d8? I can't remember total.
D6.
Okay.
And it's doubled.
Wow.
Damn.
So you double the duration of it for 40 D6. That's a lot.
That's intense.
Holy shit.
Clever
Wow.
girl.
Right now.
Hell yeah! Thank you.
Yeah, there's a
All
lot
right.
of auras.
It's d6.
I'm casting it at my last spell slot. I think it's 5th level I have.
Okay.
Don't know if this has spell scaling actually.
It doesn't have
Whatever
spell
Lawrence
scaling, but all right.
Whatever
so
Lawrence wants to rule is just fine. I don't care.
No. All right, you have 141 hit points to divide among your team however you want. So,
Or not, I actually don't need that many.
Yeah, and Dirk
so
is
if anybody
actually
needs healing, basically apply it.
yeah, Dirk is down all of his Mack stuff. Go ahead.
The aura of vitality doesn't work on you specifically, Krishana, because you are undead. But you are at full hit points due to Aurelia basically zotting you with the necrotic black fire like for 8 minutes straight. So Krishana has all these like pinpoint burn marks, like 40 of them all over her body. It's like, ow! All right, oh, hey, wait. Don't shoot me again. Ow! Shoot me in the hand or something. You're ruining my clothing.
Ow!
Just like, can fire. You fire. Stop. Fire. Please fire.
Krishana's spell that she's used most often is Prestidigitation.
Yes.
Well, you managed to use I said, does someone actually have mending out of curiosity? Otherwise, Krishana effectively doesn't have any clothing.
I might.
Yeah, they're magical artifacts, and that's it. It's like wearing a crown in the Forbidden Book. The crown.
Krishana has mending as well.
Okay, so fine. You patch up to all your clothing. You look like let's say who's
Corpse
Jack's bow out of like Nightmare Before Christmas or something? Molly.
Yeah.
So all your
Sally.
clothing looks like all stitched together like Molly's out of Nightmare Before Christmas.
Sally.
It's Sally, yeah, Sally, yeah.
That's it.
Hi, are you?
Okay, so all right.
Whew.
We got a ton of healing in. We've got Krishana patched together again.
Yay!
New in air quotes.
You're still
Okay, so
wondering
guys,
you're still wondering if this is a good or bad thing, considering the King in Yellow is a proclaimed king of undead. So this might not turn out all that well.
we're gonna do our best here, but guys, I think teleportation is not a good idea in this place. So only as a last resort. So like Misty Step and Dimension Door and all of these things, we need to just really think.
It's maybe about at minute 10 essentially when you're leaving the room that you that the broken mirror vortex reestablishes itself and snaps back into place. So as a permanent magic, getting rid of it is going to require more than basically a simple dispel.
Right.
2 dispels.
Can we still
Well,
get
I don't know
out?
how many slots you want to basically chuck at this thing to make sure it's down. Let's put it that way.
I'll spend all of my slots.
Okay.
That's the joke. I don't have
It is
any.
still there. It's still there. All right. Other things to note. Since you had 10 minutes, 2 people give me an investigation check to search for secret doors in here, since they're not immediately obvious.
Dirk is going to do that, and that's a 28.
All right. You find one secret door heading roughly north, so that would be a parallel path, like a 90-degree angle to the direction you were already heading. So that sort of would head you deeper into the palace.
Okay, so that's one, and then who was going to roll the other one?
Emma rolled the other one.
Okay.
Didn't make it.
I did not make
And
Emma was basically just noticing that some of her nails are chipped and have fallen off. Literally, there's no nail left on her. It's she's just worrying away basically this tiny nubbin that's left.
Lady Emma an anxiety moment. It's fine.
Yes.
By
So
the way, Krishana would clean everyone within the 6 minutes.
Okay, so yes, you're all cleaned up. You still all definitely look worse for the wearers. Even with mending, it's all looked patched together.
thank you, Krishana. I feel a lot better because that blood was really deep on a hobbit. So we're wanting to go deeper into because I kind of was sketchy when we decided why we were here. So we're wanting to go deeper into the palace. Is that the plan?
Yes, because the Yellow King's throne room is deep within the palace.
Okay.
His palace. So
Let's go check out this door. So
Should I throw some rats out?
Sure, if you want to try to set up the traps with rats, that might be a cheaper way of than casting Dispel all the time. Yeah, sure.
I got that bag of holding. Not bag.
Oh, you have the bag of tricks. Okay, you throw out various handful of triple-looking balls of fur that distort and puff up into there's a chihuahua. There's a big rat, and it's hard to tell the difference between the two. And there's a medium-sized dog and a pig. Okay, so all right, are you going to send one? We'll assume Krishana sends one of the animals to test the door. Predictably, something horrible happens to it as blades of force slice the animal into the pig into bacon, and neatly stack it up. And it's
Mack
and then the detect magic, which is essentially, I think Krishana can have it up for free as a ritual, so we'll just say she did. And it's she's looking at it, it's going, okay, well, there's no magic on the door anymore, so assume it's safe to open.
whose turn is first?
High hit point characters should volunteer for this, because low hit point characters can't afford to basically get chip damage on the way in.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
wait,
I'm staying back on this one.
what am I doing? I'm sorry.
So high hit point characters or high AC characters, high save characters should volunteer to check the door and possibly suck up mechanical traps. Otherwise, because the low hit
Uh,
points do it.
I will.
I will as
Yeah,
well.
Zumlar will.
Zumlar will. Okay.
For that.
Zumlar, you grab the brass handle and get shocked for 10 electrical damage. As you it's like as you wrench the door open and pull it aside, and there's this little weird apparatus linked up to the ceiling where it is like to a battery, and you're going. It's going. Zumlar is scratching his head. I would have considered that magical. It's like that seems unfair. It seems unfair. You're looking down the corridor. It heads down about 40 feet before it terminates in another one of these back-sided stone doors. There's no like sigil or relief on it depicting anything, just a simple brass handle. And along the way, you're sort of looking, and you can see like little peepholes that sort of look out into the mirror room. It's not that you don't happen to detect anybody has passed this way recently, but it's like
no smells or anything of anyone.
No particularly smells or anything. Well, speaking of smells, Mack continually smells the smell of death around here. It's like long ago old death, as if someone had died here a long, long time ago, and their scent lingers. So that also makes sense for most old undead smell this way. So it's like, given that the Yellow King is the king of undead, we're going to meet some undead in here sooner or later.
Concern.
All right, you're at the door at this point. So you're wondering if you should attempt to basically just set it off using rats. Oh, speaking of which, Mack, you should roll a wisdom check.
Sure. For what?
To see if you likewise can have a way of dealing with traps.
Is that a check or a save?
Yeah.
Krishana is going to give her book to Owl and ask her to watch over her soul.
Owl,
you find you basically cannot do it. Essentially, as soon as you try to volunteer the book to Owl, it won't even come out of here. You have that thought, and then it goes away. I was trying to think of something, and then it just like you forget that you wanted to do it. You forget. That book is yours and yours alone.
So, Lawrence, I'm gonna let you, as the DM, decide how this goes. I only got an 11 for my wisdom check, but I also, in theory, could just summon my echo for anything.
And you have 5 inspirations.
You know what? I could have basically set my echo at any time to basically set off these traps.
And you have 5 inspirations.
I only have 4 now.
Rude.
And I offered to give one up. Literally, I'll give as many away as I need. I'm not using.
All right. Mack basically suddenly everybody gives Mack the basically hairy eyeball as he sends his echo to open the doors. Like, and how many doors have we gone through so far that you didn't do that for?
I don't know how you would have ruled that, Lawrence, because that would basically invalidate most of your traps.
Well, I'm saying you could do it. So, all right.
Yeah, how many max hit points are we down as a group?
Do some detection work that it might not fill the whole corridor, right? All right. There's a loud crack of magical energy as your echo gets destroyed by what appears to be magical fire and thunder. And then I just basically the whole like 10 feet within front of the door basically immolates and fills with electricity and fire. They're going. I'm so glad I wasn't in there. And then the door sort of like slowly swings open on its own because the echo managed to grab the handle and like at least unlatch the door.
My echo comes right back because I can resummon it in a limited number of times. It's just the attacking that has a limited use.
On the far side, you can see like wispy ethereal figures floating around in a grand ballroom. There's chandeliers. There's a well-appointed banquet table off to the right. Not that ghosts can eat that stuff, anyways. But full of like delicious smelling and visually appealing looking food. tiny canapes and petit fours and a turkey and roasted meats, pastries of all sorts, a fountain of punch.
Al, don't eat it!
Flowing from the mouth of an ice swan.
Don't eat it, Al! Don't do it!
But crunch!
No! It's an illusion! Don't eat it!
Ah.
It's probably poisoned if it's real.
I'm ready to die.
No!
All right. All right. Al gets 5 temporary hit points from eating her phantom feast. And she basically has a one of those glass hors d'oeuvre dishes, like piled high with sweets and various goodies. As she's just sort of popping them into her mouth. It's like,
This is pretty good. You guys should try it.
okay, the various ghosts in the apparently are all nobles because they're all giving everybody in your group the hairy eyeball at this point. As Al, of course, basically like goose steps her way across the room. She doesn't walk like a lady at all. Of course, she just pretty stomps away. Aurelia, of course, like
walk at all.
Aurelia like sweeps into the room, basically regal and mighty. As there's various oohs and ahs as Aurelia steps into the room, and the rest of you get to various degrees of ew.
So
there's about 20 or so ghostly nobles like going about their business at this point. About half of them are on the dance floor doing a stately waltz, and the rest are sort of like about in small groups. You can see a large set of like French provincial French double doors on the other side, so that are embossed with beautiful scroll work of horrific stuff. It looks like somebody being flayed alive. And yeah, so that's where you're in. You're in a grand ballroom at the moment.
Okay, so I have a recipe where I would have made cupcakes where I can speak to ghosts.
All right. You gobble down one of your cupcakes, and oh yeah, I keep on forgetting Krishana is actually a noble, and you're undead at this point, so they recognize you as a fellow, basically noble at this point. But lady, like, good day to you. It's like, it is a wonderful day here at the Yellow King's court, is it not?
So Krishana is going to do her stereotypical bard thing, flirting. Not such a good day. I died.
Like, death is but a temporary passageway, essentially, to eternal life in the service of the Yellow King. Like, you have passed through the door, and you have only started your journey.
I do not want to.
Do not despair. You service in the Yellow King. It's like service to the Yellow King shall deliver you eternal delights for all eternity.
Will it deliver me into heaven? Because I got a boyfriend there.
Unfortunately not. You are bound to this mortal plane, essentially, in unlife. What's fair, fear not, essentially. We have plenty of pleasant company as several handsome ghosts sort of like swoop up to your side. Come, dance with us.
Ooh.
She will accept the dance, but protest because she wants to get into heaven. Regardless of her being a faithful of the old god.
At this point, you basically try to like get in touch with basically the powerful celestial that is your patron, and it's just like you're getting static back effectively. You don't have that basically faithful connection that people with deep faith have, that you can talk to the Holy Spirit and like commune with your God, commune with your patron currently. It's just like my current state has something to do with it.
My last action while I'm dancing is try and ask how I can navigate the castle to Bernadette safely with my party.
Well, that all depends on where you want to go. Where do you want to go, miss? My lady. My lady.
She'll break the dance and walk away because he already told her she can't go to heaven.
Well, no, I'm saying, yeah, I'm assuming your question has to do with the castle itself, the palace itself. You want to see the Yellow King, you want to see Davenport, so you could just ask.
Yeah, that's what she was trying to do, but I thought.
Okay, so you just ask this directly. It's like, you're not too far from the throne room now. It's like through those double doors, down the corridor at the end, essentially, is the throne room. You can seek audience with the Yellow King and his seneschal, Benedict Davenport.
She will continue to dance until the party breaks her away.
Okay. Speaking of everybody else, the other ghosts begin to basically close in on the rest of you with purpose and malice in their eyes, as their eyes sort of glow with the fearful power of undeath, as if they're going to do something bad to you at this point. What does everybody, all of you who are considered among the living, which, strangely, I guess Owl doesn't count right now. She's like half vampire at the moment, but the rest of you, what are you doing?
Can Dirk investigate and just sort of look around and see what else we might be missing?
All right, so Krishana's out on the dance floor. Owl's basically stuffing her face over at the buffet.
Dirk's got a 25 to investigate.
As far as you can tell, this appears to be a grand ballroom full of dancing noble ghosts. There isn't anything more to say about it than that, per se. There's the obvious exit out of the room at the side, at one end, but within, like, you're sort of like, all of you are trying to remain inconspicuous and out of the way at the moment, but within about 10 minutes, all the nobles seem to be finally fed up with the fact that the living is like crashing their soiree, and they all, like, about 10 of them basically all start walking with purpose towards your group. Okay, so what do you got? What is the living portion of your group, which does not include Owl and Krishana, doing?
I guess Dirk's gonna create a minor illusion to have some voices at the other side of the room.
You make some other mortal people over there. It's like, go bother those people.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, go ahead and roll me Arcana check.
Okay.
Or performance, whichever is better for you. Arcana or performance.
Performance would be better. It's not great, but it's not too bad. Okay, that's 19.
It's like it works for a little bit, basically, until they realize their illusions, and they come right on back to you. At this point, you're figuring you probably should just create. If you want to use the red painter's pigments, you could create a whole room full of mortal-looking people if you want to.
Or maybe we should just leave. I mean, if there's not anything exciting here, maybe we just go.
Okay, so about this period, do you basically like get Owl's and Krishana's attention? It's like, hey, we should be leaving.
Yeah, I'm doing some interpretive dance and let's...
All right, so you like Owl and Krishana notice the rest of the team is like frantically motioning. It's like, we should be going now. The ghosts are trying to kill us. The ghosts are.
Owl is just still stuffing her face like, but what? With her mouth full.
Come on, Owl, you can bring it with you.
Owl just like grabs a plate to follow after, just so she can.
Al, do you wanna do the door? Do you want Ryan to use his echo guy?
Yeah, and she just pouts. Yeah, he opens the door.
Is the door even trapped?
Does it matter? If it's not trapped, then it won't hurt your echo guy.
I don't care.
All
Open
right,
the
I
door.
will. So, Lawrence, just for the sake of brevity, I will have my echo opening every single door at the maximum. Hang on, let me actually check the range on him.
I think it's 30 feet is how far away you have to be before it like poofs. So, okay, so
15 feet is
15
the. I mean, if you want to give me 30, I'll take 30. But
well, okay, we'll
rule
go
is
with
written, it's
15 then.
15.
So I thought it was further. Okay, I thought it was effectively one move, but so whatever. Okay, so you summon up your ghost wolf echo to open up the door. There's this. I need a intelligence check for Mack at this point, as there's intelligence save. I'm sorry. There's this incredible screech of like psychic energy as everything in front of the door basically takes
14.
psychic damage.
My check and my save are the same thing, but 14.
Okay, so right, you take 30 points of psychic damage unless you want to reroll that.
Oh, that hurt! Owie!
Yes, Mack is like bleeding out of one eye and one ear at this point. It's like,
Owl just like looks at him and is like, you know, that's not even half of what the blood monster did to me. I don't feel bad.
Oh, Queen Emma's just looking at him like, yeah, you deserved that.
What did I do?
And it was just 30 points. It wasn't even 30 points of maximum hit point. I mean, you know.
you're sorted by basically psychic versions of every violation you can think to your body, basically, where worms are eating out your eyes and your innards are basically being scooped out by spoons, and it's like,
My innards are now outards.
my insides are becoming my outsides, all that type of horrible stuff. Okay, it's like, Mack basically stumbles, like opens the door, like grabs the door after his echo opens it, and like swings it the rest of the way open, stumbles out into the hallway. At one end of the hallway, you can see a large contingent of cultists in their yellow robes. They all turn back to you. Their mishapen faces, where one eye is higher than the other, the nose is slightly crooked, the jaw
They
line.
look like that one painting that I don't know the name of.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it looked like basically like
Pablo
Picasso's,
Picasso.
like, real life portraiture come to life, effectively.
Yeah.
So, it's like, as if you made all the portraiture of Picasso like come to life. This is what the cultists look like. There's about 20 of them down at the end of the hallway. They all turn to you at once and all draw like wavy shards of glass.
Do I have my crown?
Yeah, you have all your stuff. So
We very carefully picked it all up.
I am going to put my crown on my head, smile, and try and suggest them with my crown.
all right, you try to beguile a lot of them, essentially. Do you coordinate with Al, or do you basically you're doing this on your own?
I can cast message as a cantrip, so
Well, you're standing next to each other. You don't have to message her. Let's put it that way.
Owl just,
help me out. Give me advantage.
Owl just but with her mouth full of like
I'm gonna
All right,
give,
so yeah, the might of the two crowns of basically beguiling like radiate across this. Like everybody in your party is going, like has this sort of like slack-jawed look, basically, where your mouth is slightly open, and you're going, "Wow!" There's like evil and hot. Just yeah, it's like
Perfect combination.
Krishana
it can only be more hot if they kissed at this point. It's just like okay. Anyway, so the two of you like apply your evil witch charms on the cultists. As okay, so you use up all the charms out of both of your all the charges out of both of your crowds to get the crowd at the end of the hallway under control. Let's see here. And if more than half of them fail, I will just say good enough, and then you've got the whole group.
I can eat the rest that aren't charmed.
No,
I
don't.
really don't mind it. I really don't
I
mind.
will start smacking his nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has like a rolled up spell scroll like a newspaper and just bangs him right on the nose.
Well, it doesn't matter. You're like only like 3 of them made their saves. The
Okay.
whole group basically turns on the three. It's like our goddesses have commanded us to kill you. As the 3 remaining cultists like, what? So they all turn around and kill
God
those
believer,
three.
it's the simp. It's the simps turning on the 3 logical people in the chat.
Like, as they cut off their heads and then roll up on the 2 of you and like present their heads basically like trophies.
Sorry,
Al-
what?
As Krishana and Al, who's like, or like, one of you is like 100% undead, the other is 50% there, are going. Somehow that
Ooh.
seems pleasurable. This seems like acceptable. The rest of you are going. That's horrific. That's horrific.
Can Owl like absorb with like the tattoo some of the so like the heads, or do anything with the tattoo for that?
Oh, no head.
You basically Kalima their souls into your left palm. This is really the first time anybody's in your team has actually seen you directly do this, and again, everybody's going, well, shit. When did that happen?
Owl
Okay,
has
you
Mack
gain.
is just fun being
Okay, so you have a
surprised at
total
this
of
point.
20 temporary hit points now, rather than the 5, I believe.
say again.
You have 20 temporary hit points now, rather than 5 that you had before. So
That is nice.
this temporary hit point total replaces your old one.
Yeah.
Man, it's just like simps in real life.
All right, so the
Exactly.
cultists part like the Red Sea. It's like the Yellow King, and the Yellow King awaits you, mistresses. Please proceed, as they all kneel and bow deeply.
Do I get a guide?
Well, if you want one of them to follow you around, sure, they're under your thrall, so yes.
I want a leader-ish or most handsome to lead me to the throne room.
They all look weird, so it's like as if evil has twisted their very forms, because it has. So you sort of pick one that is least malformed, so announces to the Yellow King, open the doors to the throne room so that we may greet him. And the one guy walks up to the door, like, touches the handle of the door, is incinerated into ash immediately as something disintegrates him. And then the door still remains shut. But you have 39 more tries at this if you want to use more cultists.
Yeah, why not?
Can an animal squeeze under the door?
No, it's a giant, like 20-foot tall set of double doors, with like sort of large brass handles, sort of like that look in the form of tentacles, essentially, that have been artfully cast in bronze or brass.
So animal messenger with a rat would not work.
No, there's no gap in the door or the ceiling or the you don't see any vents in the hallway either. So it's more like classical architecture where there's pretty much a solid walls and solid doors. So okay, so all right. So what's the thought here?
Does anybody want to bargain with this king? Because I want to bargain.
Sure. I don't know what I can bargain, but I'm down to help.
Krishana's going to try and think to herself, are there souls in the book that she has that has her soul?
Yes. It contained basically about 5 to 6 other souls of people that have been completely consumed by the book.
So, privately, Krishana wants to bargain these souls to release her and maybe Al from the king's service. How does she think she wants to do that?
Well, you could just offer what you're offering, right? You've already seen the true visage of the king once, and Krishana turns to everybody and warns them, do not look at the king directly in the eye. Otherwise, you will lose what little sanity you have left.
Otherwise known as you're fucked.
Okay. Okay, so the doors remain closed. It's hard to tell whether or not they're still trapped or not. So, but you have 39 more cultists under your sway if you want to test that theory.
Would Krishana know how to free her own soul from the book?
You need to roll an Arcana check at this point. I assume you've been studying it over time because you are definitely not interested in being undead. Krishana is not interested in being undead personally, so go ahead and roll an Arcana check.
Expertise.
There's also something to be said about, like, do we use the cultists to give us time? Like, just give us time to, like, make sure we're all set.
Well, the cultists, let's put it this way, will not turn upon their master. They're more than willing to kill each other because they sacrifice
Obey
each other.
your master.
Oh shit, 21.
21.
Stupid.
Okay, so Krishana, like...
Is inspiration choose the other or choose the second result?
Well, no, you're fine, essentially. You just need to get over 20 on the Arcana check. So, you pondered the book very carefully. You've been pondering the book very carefully over time. There is an exit clause, but it requires you to be dead. That's not to say you couldn't be resurrected, but you would have to die.
Already died.
Well, that might have been a good opportunity to fix that, but basically, there's a problem. Essentially, the binding ritual, essentially to bring you back in undeath, essentially locks you in even more to the book's orbit. Let's put it that way, as far as its influence. So the fact that you're essentially being brought back as undead at this point means you owe even more to the book than you did before.
So Krishana understands this as a more taxing Fey trait.
Back just a minute.
I will continue with my plan.
Okay. Alright, is everybody on board with this? Because those of you attack the Yellow King immediately, essentially there's no negotiation, right? So
Krishana's going to talk to everyone. Hey, I'm going to try and negotiate with the king for the release of mine and Owl's soul, which she understands is all who is in debt to the Yellow King.
May I also remind you that we are here looking for 2 NPCs that got sucked into a portal.
and the orphans.
And the orphans.
Okay, well, the orphans is on a table as a bargaining chip. Do you have something to bargain for the orphans?
I have $3.
Maybe Owl, like, are the souls in the tattoo kept in the tattoo? Or are they just, like, dispersed in the body?
You have no idea what happened to the basically the soul stone in your palm. Essentially, whatever happened to the souls that get sucked in there.
Gotcha. Okay. Got that stone of Astapel that I can offer.
So Krishana is going to...
Oh yeah, you have all sorts of weird cursed objects you can offer up to the Yellow King for favors rendered, right? Because you can bet that the Yellow King loves evil artifacts.
Yeah, no, I was like, I got a sword, I got a crown, I got a tattoo.
You got a sword, you got a crown, you've got like Krishana and you both like. You've never noticed this, but Krishana and you basically are like mirror images of each other. You both have a cursed, a cursed crown. You both basically have a soul stone like embedded in your palm. And you're just like, because you're going twinsies.
Do we high five those hands together?
Of course you do. That's like, evil high fives.
Evil high five. Yeah. So Owl can off. Yeah.
Form of like Wonder Twin Powers Unite. Form of End of the World.
Fusion.
Well, I guess that's the discussion to be had, right? So it's like, what? If possible, I'd like to basically wrap it up this evening by 9:30. So try to discuss quickly.
Krishana wants to negotiate. Any objections?
No, I'm always for negotiation. If it goes south, it goes south, but at least we tried, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Objection. Speak now.
Objection! Phoenix Wright reference.
Get out.
I know.
Mac, your nose is
I
on
can't do
fire.
anything better.
Just hit him with that scroll, right?
As long as you
Krishana's
don't
opening the
demand me-
doors and walking in.
Okay,
according to
so
local-
about 4 cultists later, you've actually expended all the magical traps on the door and the mechanical ones. Well, and then four cultists after that, you've expended all the mechanical traps. Is there all sorts of like poison arrows and spears and basically some sort of like bottomless pit, spiked pit. It's just like, wow, that door is really well defended. As you basically stack all the. You tell the other cultists to stack the dead bodies on top of each other to form a bridge, and as you walk in there, it's like, Krishana and Al find nothing wrong with this. The rest of you are going, are we the bad guys?
No, I think we found the BBEG and it was a door.
It's
We
always
formed
a
a bridge
door.
out of that we totally sacrificed
Oh my
themselves.
god, yes. Like little ants.
Before we go, can Owl make them all start doing like a fun little dance, like the chicken dance together before like we leave the room?
Oh, that
All-
dance macabre, right?
They sort of dance like basically
No, that's too
Wednesday
fancy. Al's a
Addams, and
chicken
it's like
girl.
they all dance like goth kids, and it's like it's just there's something really it's like no, like a chicken. As they basically they hold their hands basically rather than basically directly in front of them like velociraptors, they hold their hands high above them, basically like they're stalking somebody. It's like, no, like lower than that. As the one is high and one is low, it's like no, it looks like you're about to stab someone. Okay, never mind. Like, never.
Just do your. Owl's trying so hard. She's getting a taste of her own medicine. And that's because she never listens. Thank
All right.
you. That-
Yeah,
as
Al.
you're leaving, all the cultists are doing madly capering about, basically spinning in circles with their daggers above their heads, and it's sort of devolved into this basically weird ritual dance with daggers, where they're ritually slashing each other and going, "Okay, I shouldn't have said anything."
They're just going.
As you head into the throne room, stepping over the corpses of cultists that have sacrificed their lives for you. The doors swing open. There's a sort of nasty looking undead hunchback with like skeletal face where his flesh is sunk down all the way down to his bones, dressed in a herald's tabard, announcing the Queen of Summerstone, Lady Aurelia.
What am I doing?
Okay, so it's like, and then they go through the rest, essentially adding some appropriate honorifics, some not. Essentially, is like Al and Krishana seem to have the proper honorifics. The rest of you seem to have like made up honorifics. I think Zumlar probably has made some name of renown for himself. It's like the champion of the summer court, Zumlar. Like, and you're standing in front of sort of a glittering throne made of like broken shards of glass that seem to be suspended in midair. Sitting upon the throne is a yellow robed figure with his hands and face hidden in the depths of his robe. The robe itself probably was fine golden silk robe at one point, but it seems to be moth-eaten and has holes in it around the edges and the bottom fringe. Standing next to the Yellow King's throne is Benedict Davenport himself, dressed in rich purple. His sort of walrus-like He's a little rotund. He's like his big walrus mustache basically sticks out to either side of his face. He's like he seems out of place here. So like and lined up in neat rows on either side of the hall, interspersed between about columns every 5 feet, are the orphans dressed in court finery, all sort of obediently standing silent as they seem to be enthralled. Tabitha and what was it? It was Tabitha and Lathander, right? Or was Tabitha and the
Yeah,
Archer?
Lathander.
Tabitha and Lathander are standing, sort of like you didn't think like elves could be thralled, but like there he is, Lathander standing with a blank stare out in space, along with Tabitha to the left of the Yellow King. Benedict speaks at this point. You've come. Are we gonna have it out now, or have you come to bargain for your lives?
Krishana will step forward and bow to the Yellow King and message. What do you require for trade for the immediate death of Davenport?
Ooh.
If you it's like you hear this sepulchral voice. If you wish to take the place of Davenport, like I am open to your offer. You are a powerful group. Become my hands, become my eyes and ears in this world, and the next, and the 1,000 that follow after it, and you shall have all the status and power that I deliver to my seneschals.
Holy shit.
So she's speaking to the Yellow King message silently.
I'm saying that is what you get back directly in your mind, essentially.
I'm just saying the rest of the party isn't hearing nothing.
Do you wish me to deliver this offer to the rest of your group? Or is this just for you, my possible beautiful consort?
If I have come with 3 requests.
Old, you have not. It is. I find it interesting that you have not asked for anything in return. You've simply offered yourself up. What are your requests?
My primary request is you release my soul back to the Dawn Mistress, Night Mistress.
That can be done. You would still be thralled to me. You would serve me and her as equal partners.
Would you accept a 49% stake so I can, once my death and soul is released, to go back to the Dawn Mistress?
That is fine.
Accepted.
Yeah, keep it. It's like the. But as you basically get this, Krishana turns around. Basically, her flesh suddenly becomes like her flesh turns into a normal color again. However, this all her clothing becomes this sort of like gold, like mysteriously becomes this golden yellow color as he turns to face you all at this point. And she goes to stand next to the Yellow King.
Secondly, equal trade. Release Owl from your service and the orphans.
Or what do you bargain in exchange?
She's gonna drop the book down. I believe there are 5 other souls, not mine, in this book.
The Yellow King basically like holds up a hidden, simply sort of like you see some motion underneath the fringe of his robe as the book basically finally comes out of your hand and simply floats and arrives at the sort of edge of his throne.
So this is a cursed item that she cannot let out of her possession.
No, I'm saying it comes out of your possession once finally, it's like you don't suddenly forget the moment that you basically want to do it. It simply comes out of your hand. It's like,
Can I have that book back, please? It is important to me.
oh, you are you saying that you're going to get? Are you offering this up at the end of the? Perhaps at the end of 10 years of service to me, you must hand over this book to me. Because a year is but a day, and a decade is but a wink of an eye to me.
Sir, you cannot rip out 10 page. You cannot rip out 5 pages and give me the book.
Your service to me is internal and inviolate. You sort of, Krishana sort of realizes quickly, essentially, like you're sort of pledge yourself to immortal service to the unless you manage to perish somewhere along the way, which you could manage, right? Basically, you could get yourself killed, but it's like otherwise you're going to basically be eternally serving the Yellow King.
Wait, who's gonna be eternally serving the Yellow King?
Krishana has already
Krishana?
pledged service to the Yellow King at this point. It's like the Yellow King, basically, in all of your minds, it's like one of your members has pledged service to me. Would the rest of you do the same? In which case, like your worries were Davenport would be no more, for you would no longer be my enemy, but my servant.
Oh, okay, but what does this entail? Because I already have like a whole ass kingdom and like a whole ass different kingdom and a husband and like all this shit going on.
Okay, so the Aurelia, in Aurelia's mind, she sees like glory for the Sunstone Empire, the most preeminent kingdom of the Fae. Essentially, Aurelia is the new queen of the Fae, basically supreme above Titania and all Summer Fae. You see basically the pledging of loyalty ceremony that happens every year where everybody bends a knee to Titania. Except it's you standing there.
Well, that sounds tempting, but what's the catch?
You must basically acquiesce to my will when it comes to matters basically that I request.
Like, what kind of matters? Well, what are we talking about here?
It's like there's images of sacrifice and dark deeds, and these like you would still be in power, to be sure. You would be granted exalted status amongst all others, essentially. As the Yellow King basically shows that he can change. He is godlike in his ability to change people's fates, that those who serve him.
So Dirk is going to use telepathy to tell Emma, you can't trust him. We don't want to be enthralled to him. It's a bad idea.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with maybe this is a bad idea.
Krishana is going to message everyone. Please, if you have a request, let me know.
Okay, so there's Aurelia sort of gets this twinge of pain as the mark on her staff, the sort of like weird crack on her staff that sort of looks like the mark of the Yellow King, expands and almost fully across the whole face of the gem of her staff as you take 20 psychic damage. It's like, and those who have my mark essentially who do not serve me are doomed to die.
I find it.
Great. Thanks, guys.
So I have to buy more pills, I guess.
Okay, what's our plan here? Because
Okay,
it seems like our options are to serve the Yellow King or die.
No, I'm gonna say, can we speak above table for a second?
Sure, that's fine.
Okay.
Discuss among yourselves. Like,
yeah.
Nothing you say can change your fate. Of course, bad guys say this all the time, but
and
doesn't actually mean you can't change your fate. It doesn't.
And we have 6 minutes, so we could also continue this in chat for the whole week.
Yeah, we can table this for the week. This is like dialogue before the final boss
Yeah,
fight.
but
like,
let Al say what she wanted to say though.
Yeah, go ahead.
I looked.
Yeah.
Look, last time I remember seeing them, they were on the counter near the coffee pot. I have no idea what I do with them.
In the place that
I think
So
she's
is the-
talking with someone else in the room.
Okay. Sorry. It was
Yeah.
What I was thinking is that's getting distracting.
Last time I remember
What I was thinking was like even though we're under the service of the Yellow, like if we were under the service of the Yellow King, doesn't mean that or does that mean that gives us time to kind of plan a little bit more, get a little bit healed up, find his weaknesses and sort of thing, and eventually betray?
I'm sorry, Krishana is trying to negotiate a contract where she's responsible. Unfortunately, she wants to cut out a few people.
What? I didn't understand that.
Krishana is willing to sacrifice people in the team in order to basically preserve the most of the team, essentially. But that being said, of course, the Yellow King is interested in basically having you all serve him if that's at all possible. You've proven to be a very capable group, probably more capable than Benedict himself.
Which is why I was thinking, that we all kind of join just for a little bit, figure out what's going on a little bit more, and then eventually all gang up on him when we know him a bit better.
Krishana's not going to fight the dude. She's trying to negotiate her soul release.
Well, Krishana has already basically pledged acceptance and loyalty, so she's going to have an extremely difficult time fighting at this point.
Gotcha.
She was willing to give souls. I'm sorry, I don't know what I agreed to. There was.
So you agreed to basically, do you wish to serve me? And you said yes. So it's that's what I thought that you were acquiesced at that point. So yeah, and then you discussed the book for the release of our 2 hostages and the orphans. It's these are mere bargaining chips on the table, of course. Essentially, that what you offer is more than enough, essentially, to have them released.
Okay, so Krishana will accept that, and then what the party does is up to them.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Krishana just dropped down in an alignment or 2.
Okay. Grisha, so the Yellow King says your compatriot has already negotiated for the release of the children and your two compatriots in hostage here. He sort of waves over to
I'm sorry,
Talia, the cat girl, and Lathander. So
does that include Owl's soul?
Owl will have to negotiate for herself. She's already done so many great things for me.
Okay, so Krishana doesn't care about those compatriots. She was trying to negotiate.
Oh, you're trying to ask for Also. So the Yellow King states she must choose for herself.
Yeah, Owl would rather the children and the others let go because she's like.
So at that point, Krishana, do you just readjust the terms of your bargain for Talia and Lathander at this point, or no?
The children.
She's gonna smile at Al. Oh my gosh, you're an adult child. Good luck. And she's gonna blow her a kiss and accept the deal and let Al do her own negotiating.
Okay, so Krishana is standing next to the Yellow King at this point, away from the party.
And
the children,
on their own.
The Yellow King basically waves his hand casually, and all the children wink out one after another, essentially. There, they have been returned to London. Okay, so if you want to negotiate, think about this some more over the week, certainly feel free to do so. So,
yeah,
this is it. This is next session will be the last session of this campaign, won't it?
Well,
yes, absolutely. So, and then we're going to figure out what to do for the next campaign after this. Yes.
Future, I thought.
So, negotiated solution, or a violent solution, either way. It's probably going to take no more than maybe 30 to 40 minutes to resolve. So,
Damn.
So Faith and I think that the next setting we should have is to go to Philadelphia.
Okay.
Is that a serious suggestion, or is this a joke I'm not getting?
Well, we
It's
want to
more
hang
sunny in
with.
Philadelphia. Okay,
We
never mind.
we can hang with Gritty, right? It can be a Gritty campaign.
Yes, it's a gritty campaign.
I thought you'd like that.
That's fine.
Owl could ride in, or not Owl. My next character can like ride in on the train since like, yeah, because there's like a whole angst about that in like Old Gods of Appalachia, which is what she's gonna be based off of. So fuck yeah. But anyway, I gotta go to bed because I gotta be in school.
I'm wrecked. Thanks, guys. That was amazing, Lawrence. So many
No, you don't need to go to
doors.
school tomorrow. You're fine.
So many undead.
All right. Figure out what you're doing basically over the week. So, and then we'll wrap it up beginning of next session.
Yeah, don't wait until 30 minutes before a Monday. We need to talk about this in session, right?
Yeah.
Thanks, you guys. Good night.
Night.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you next time.
I could